Well, this here is Pennyhose Greg, and you can call me PHG if you like. All right, you guys, let's party.
Sometimes I need a good reason to get out of bed. Got sleep in my eyes, clouds in my head. I need a shot of something to make my motor go. Yes, I do. Ow! So I turn on the Klein and Alley show.
Come on, Jesus.
Give me some Klein and Alley show. Give me some Klein and Alley show.
Oh, mama.
Get your motor running with the Klein and Alley show.
Yeah, honey.
I said, get your motor running with the Klein and Alley show.
Golly low, golly low, golly low, golly low, golly low.
Klein Alley Show. 106.7 KROQ FM in HD Pasadena, Los Angeles, Orange County. This is the world famous KROQ.
Hell yeah, welcome to a brand new week. Here we go on a Monday from the world famous KROQ. I don't know what the temperature is outside. In here, Allie, we're pushing triple digits already because we just found out that the building that we work in every day does not pay to start running the air conditioning until after 7 a.m., which means all of the pre-show meetings and plannings we have, we are now doing it in extreme heat conditions.
Yeah, and this small space, because of all the equipment in here, gets to be 90 degrees real fast.
So we may go topless again. We didn't do this since April 1st, our OnlyFans show. But we may actually start removing clothing at some point today.
Let's play strip show.
Strip show today, all show long. You want to play with us? Let's go ahead. I know summer doesn't officially or unofficially begin until this upcoming Memorial Day weekend, but let's go ahead and kick it.
Feels like it
off
started
now.
already here.
It is sweltering in this building, and it's funny watching everyone run around all sweaty and whatnot, and they're like, well, there's a backup AC unit, and that's broken, and who knows when the parts will get here. See, that's why, like Omar, I feel like, who's a real man and has probably multiple toolkits. I don't know. I know we're supposed to wait for this thing to get fixed by the professionals, but why don't you just go there with your wrench and take care of this?
Take a look.
I feel like you're the guy that could solve this problem. I wish I was. This is where I wish I was more of a man, because I can do nothing. When I hear people talk about stuff like this, I go, yeah, well, you know how it is with the parts and the
And you don't really
the condenser coil.
Yeah, I say I don't even know what that is.
You're just going, when is it going to be fixed? I'm hot.
I'm hot.
I'm hot.
I have hot flashes.
That fan is too fanny.
But you know what? If I was a man, I would be like, let me take a look at it.
Well, and I also feel like when a company has an AC go wrong, they always have to go up the proper channels to get it fixed. Mm-hmm. And if it was, Omar, I imagine you know a guy who know a guy, or, you would be able to find the parts that you need in like 12 hours or less.
He'll get you a condenser coil.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
If you find just like third party, you can get all the pieces that you need to make this thing happen.
I actually think you, Allie, is just a handy lesbian. I mean, you're always working on stuff. You built that rock garden yourself. I feel like you could go down there and kick this thing with your steel-tip boots.
I feel like I think between Omar and I, there's enough testosterone to get it done.
Although you did one time claim that you could also break into a car easy peasy, and you went out there with a coat hanger to try to break into a car in the parking lot. And
I just scraped my window a lot.
You didn't get in.
But the initiative is there.
Right.
I can learn anything if I watch enough YouTube videos.
And that's a valuable lesson to start today with on a brand new week. If the initiative is there, the skill is almost unnecessary. And I think we prove that every morning right here on KROQ. We got a decent show planned for you today. We'll tell you all about it after Blank. Good morning. Klein Alley Show. So Mark Hoppus was at Disneyland over the weekend enjoying. Imagine that, being in the Cars ride and Hoppus behind you.
Do you imagine that if you get into a line and you're like, let me just kind of skip ahead. If you're Mark Hoppus, they're like, hey, man, go through. Or are they like, get out of the way, wait in line like everybody else?
I don't. He's probably got one of those tour guides in the plaid outfits that are always walking around, escorting people through the handicap exits.
Is that something that you feel like every rich person, if they can afford it, they'll get it?
And I think every person who stands there and looks at that goes, man, if I
was rich, I wish I could do this.
That's the first thing I would buy. And probably we could all afford it if we just stopped buying all those damn churros, but we cannot stop buying the churros.
It's like you see those A-listers who are like, I still shop at Ralph's, but no one does that for Disneyland.
Right,
Everyone's like, no, I want all the special treatment.
The second that I can afford one of those plaid tour guides to walk you around, and I've tried some shady behind. I've had friends of Omar style, friends of friends of friends that are like, I know a guy that used to work security at Disney, and you can pay him $50 in the parking lot, and he'll help you cut some lines. And that's a cool system, but the problem is they get shut down real quick.
Really?
Yeah, because they're not authentic. They're and the park.
You love inauthentic.
You know me. That's my favorite. That's my comfort zone. As we are sitting in here sweating in the studio right now, at least one person, Allie, gets our struggles, and thank you for putting up with us. Well, I'm telling you right now, no kidding. In the next 5 minutes, if you're not watching on YouTube, and I think that's back up and running again.
It is, finally.
You can see us there. We will probably...
You are glistening.
Yeah, we're both going to be pitting out hard. I mean, if you like looking at us glistening, Jake pits out daily. We will all be pitting out pretty soon. But this guy, at least this person, gets us out.
Klein and Alley, this message is actually for your building /Odyssey /whoever is slacking right now with the air, with the temperature, and with the cockroaches. Man, they don't understand. Odyssey, Klein Alley Show has a lot of fans that love them, and they are freaking superstars. I'm telling you.
The irony here is that we need fans. That's the one thing we need is fans.
I wish we had a few more fans.
Just to survive this sweltering heat wave in the studio.
You guys are the best, and it's unacceptable that Odyssey can't even get you a freaking good, normal office. But I don't think it's my place to say that, but I'm just saying as a fan.
It is your place to say that. It's all of our places to say that. And we've said it before, and every time this happened on Friday morning, we go, well, they'll fix it over the weekend.
Yeah, I know, clearly.
It's 25 degrees hotter now than it was on Friday.
I know.
What the hell, guys? Get them a nice place. They give us content. They give us a show every single day without fail. It's amazing, and they got to deal with bullshit, which is unacceptable from the freaking building. But yeah, that just pisses me off. The hot air thing that you guys are cooking in there is, oh my God, I can't imagine.
We're gonna go full on Korean barbecue in the studio.
Cool.
Today.
And to be clear, we are never without fail.
Oh yeah, we're with fail all the time.
But if you are a giant fan, a big fan, please come.
Yeah, our biggest fans. I remember that 500-pound guy we met at one of our biggest fans standing in here sweating with us.
Standing next to you.
But anyways, yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to get that off my chest. All right, sweet dibbits.
Sweet dibbits.
Love you guys.
Love you too, and thank you for the support. Here's what we have for you today. If you decide to stick around with us, if we survive the heat stroke, we got for you tickets, and you get to pick your own mission. That's right, it's a theme on Mission Impossible. Your mission could include My Chemical Romance, Linkin Park, Incubus, Blink-182, or The Offspring. You will decide when you are caller 20 later this morning. Also, we will get you into, what do we got? Comedy tickets happening in Thousand Oaks. We'll make that happen. Shane Wang, get you into that show. Plus, Allie, this is exciting, but it seems like everyone's going to prison these days, so we will take the official show quiz and figure out what type of prisoner all of us would be.
Oh, man, I would turn over so quick.
Oh, you would turn and start being, what, a rat?
No. I mean, I would get with a group and just completely throw out all my beliefs.
For safety.
Yeah, I think I'd go with the skinheads.
Well, it sounds about you've made enough. You've made enough of those comments to make us believe that you're already there.
I just think whatever you look like, they're probably like, "Hey, you're a skinhead," and I'll just be like, "All right."
Yeah, it's funny because
sure, whatever you do, just accept me.
I mean, I would have thought you would have gone with the militant lesbians. It seems like you're a step closer to that group, but okay, Allie's going to go full on skinhead. Well, there we go. We'll figure that out later this morning on the show as well. If you need us, 800-520-1067. And a major announcement involving one of our personal lives. We'll get to that coming up this morning as well.
KROQ listener, your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to infiltrate one of these KROQ shows. My Chemical Romance at Dodger Stadium, July 27th. The Offspring at the Kia Forum, August 29th.
Yeah?
Incubus at Into It Dome, October 4th. in Acrisure Arena October 5th. And Lincoln Park in Into a Dome September 13th.
That you cut me open just to watch me burn. This is what you asked for. Heavy is the crowd.
To choose your mission, you must engage at precisely 0900, 1200, 1500, or 1800 hours. That's 9 noon, 3 and 6 for civilians. Be color 20 and your mission is greenlit. Operation Choose Your Mission is now underway. This message will self-destruct in 5 seconds. Courtesy of Live Nation and the world famous.
Shop or
Degrees inside the KROQ studios right now. It's Klein Alley Show. You can watch us glisten and sweat and marinate in our own juices all over the YouTube. There's a good plug for that right now. You can find us on KROQ's YouTube as we are streaming live, or just keep on listening as you sit in traffic or wake up, start your day, and how about $100 of Allie's money? She is willing to pay the people. Monday is always a payday. Monday almost always is a payday.
It is, I think, the highest rated.
Yes.
Your chances are the best on a Monday morning.
But in addition to the fact that we are hot and potentially entering some phase of heat stroke now because of broken air conditioning in the building, also on top of that, who knows what we were doing this weekend? Drinking, smoking, probably not studying up on the news. And even though there were big stories, which we'll bring you later this hour, let's get into it.
She got pregnant to remove tattoos to find out if Allie knows the news.
Beautiful song. That is not why Allie got pregnant.
Well,
one of the reasons. One of the reasons.
No, I didn't remove my tattoos. It just turned into a disgusting gelatinous blob.
Hey, Marissa, good morning from Tustin. How goes it?
Good morning. It's going well.
Love that Monday energy. I love where you're at right now. You probably have working air conditioning wherever you are. We will get into this round of Allie Knows the News as soon as she leaves the KROQ
Can
studios.
I leave now?
Please leave, and if you could, bring back
Please
some
leave.
cool air with you. Bring back some ice cubes for us all. I got 5 questions all about stuff happening in the world. Answer them quickly, confidently, and accurately. You're more than welcome to play along, and we pay the people starting right now on KROQ.
Allie Knows the News.
All right, an L.A. barbershop is making the news for blasting this song to try to ward off the homeless that have started living and camping out near the barbershop. What song are they blasting to keep the homeless away?
Oh, geez. I do not know that one. I'm going to guess a James Blunt song because I don't like James Blunt.
James Blunt. That's a great guess right there. We got a question number 2. Former President Joe Biden has officially been diagnosed with what?
Prostate cancer.
Question 3. 2 members of the Mexican Navy have actually died after this. Excuse me, let me say this question again. I am seriously fading fast here. 2 members died after the Mexican Navy ship hit what on the East Coast? What did the ship hit?
Oh, is it the Boston Bridge? Or I know it's a Brooklyn Bridge. Brooklyn Bridge.
Question 4. Capital One is acquiring this credit card company.
Oh, geez, not another credit card company. I don't even know the names of them. I know it's not Chase. Is it Bank of America? I don't know. That's too big.
And finally, it was leg 2 of the Triple Crown races. The Preakness took place over the weekend. Which horse won the Preakness?
So what's that? Let's say Autumn Leaf Squirrel.
Autumn Leaf Squirrel. It's the fastest horse. Why would it not win? Hold on one second. Let's bring Allie. Don't say anything else. That's Marissa. Either super high or just wakes up with a great personality on a Monday morning, which is rare. Allie brought in a cup of hot tea. Why would you do that? It's actually steaming.
It's always nice for tea.
More steam in the sauna we're broadcasting from right now. You're battling Marissa. Your round has already begun. And here we go, Allie. Let's see if you hold on to your money or if you pay the people. Question 1. An L.A. barbershop is blasting this song to try and ward off the homeless.
Gosh. The Cars for Kids song?
Oh, man, that's a great one.
Everyone would leave.
They would all get out of there. You were so close,
hit
though.
some kids.
She guessed anything James Blunt. She's not a fan of James Blunt.
Oh.
But they've gone with the super annoying Baby Shark.
Oh, Baby Shark. Yeah.
Baby Shark. What they don't realize is Baby Shark is only annoying after a while. At first, it's kind of catchy.
Yeah, and then you go through waves.
Right.
Then you hate it again, and then it becomes catchy again, and then you go insane and love it.
So if you're a homeless person, you've never heard Baby Shark, I would imagine at the beginning you would come closer to the barbershop. And you'd be like, what is this bop right here?
What is this hit?
I love this. And then at the end, you're like, wait a minute. I don't like Baby Shark so
And
much.
you're like, run away, do, 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 do.
All right, we move on. Question number 2. Allie is got 0, and our contestant has 0. We go to question 2. Former President Joe Biden was diagnosed with what?
Oh, prostate cancer.
Yeah, very sad, and that is true. Aggressive is what they're saying, and not oftentimes do you hear prostate cancer followed by a woo-woo, but we just got that from Marissa, who's on the board. That's okay. I'm sure he would be thrilled to know. That's what the doctor said. We go to question number 3, and it is tied up 1-1. 2 members died after a Mexican Navy ship hit what on the East Coast?
Yeah, the Brooklyn Bridge.
All right, she originally locked in on Boston Bridge, changed her answer to Brooklyn Bridge. We'll give her the credit. That is correct as well. And we go to question 4, still tied up 2-2. Capital One is acquiring this credit card company.
Oh, Discover.
Discover. She did not get that, but Allie did. All them Discover points. Congratulations. You've been saving up. And now Allie's up 1 with one final question. The second horse race of the Triple Crown was the Preakness, took place over the weekend. Which horse won that race?
Journalism?
That's the correct answer.
Wow.
The favorite. Well, there you have it. You put in a strong start, Marissa, but Allie smoked your ass. And what must you shamefully admit?
I'm Marissa from Tustin, and Allie knows the news.
But I do like you, and you should call more often because I could
Because you
use,
sound awake and sane.
could use that good energy.
Yeah.
What's your secret, I wonder? You're like freebasing coffee? Are you high? Why are you so up right now, Marissa?
I'm running on nothing.
Oh,
great.
nice.
I love that.
Adrenaline.
That is our motto around here as well.
On fumes.
Running on nothing. We got lots to get into, and we get into the show again after this. We could string this along over the next few hours and just tease it and tease it and tease it and then disappoint you around 8:30. But let's go ahead and give it to you now. This is exciting.
I don't think we need to tease it.
Well, it's
String
big.
people along.
It's
Well,
big.
It is big. Look.
It's big for someone, not me. It's not going to change my life even a little bit. But
Yeah.
for you, big deal.
Well, if you ever come to my house, it'll change your life.
Once again, not going to change my life even a little bit.
I still think now you've been to my house once since I've known you.
No, that's false. I've been to your house multiple times. I was there for the big ribbon cutting of that stupid rock garden you built.
That was at my kid's birthday party.
Oh, is that why I was there?
Sick big.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that
And your
would explain.
kids opened up all of Wesley's presents.
Well, they saw presents and they opened them. Yes, that's right. And I was never invited back. And then I think I went to some weird murder mystery you threw one time.
Oh, Oh, you went to that? Yikes.
No, I didn't go to that one, actually.
Okay, yeah.
Skipped
I
that.
think you just said you were there.
There's a few things you've invited me to I have not gone to, but yes, I have been to your place more than once. I think at least 4 times.
No way.
Feels like 4 times.
I think I've been to one of your 7 houses
well,
that you've had over the last 10
would,
years.
I would say come now, but I'm packing up again. So,
So this is, I would say, a milestone for a lot of people. When you get a new pet, you remember that day, you remember where you were, what you did, how you picked the pet that was going to be in your life, for at least 10, 15 years, 20 if you're a cat. And we decided that we were going to get a new kitten because the cat that we had 2. We had to put one down, so we just had one left. She's old, but she is now getting very needy and attention-seeking. And we decided, you know what? This cat needs some kind of distraction because I don't have the time to give it the attention that it needs. So we decided to look
that's a good reason, by the way, to get another animal.
Yeah.
I don't have the time to take care of this one. So
they got a little playmate.
So let's get a second one.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting you say second.
Oh, my God.
So,
Did you get 2?
So, well, it sounds a little different than that. It's more like...
Allie's house is going to be full on chaos.
So here's what happened.
Like a lesbian Noah's Ark.
I went on whatever website where you can look at adoptable animals. I was like, I want an orange boy cat. I heard they are the dumbest. I heard they are the easiest. I don't want a complicated animal. I want the stupidest, loviest, able to be manhandled cat that I can possibly get. Low maintenance. So I click on one. Looks great. I mean, there's a million of them that are all orange and little. So I call the woman, and she goes, well, I actually don't live where it's been listed on the website. I live in a much farther place, but I do have a house with a lot of different kittens for you to pick from. Why don't you come over today and you can look at all the ones that we have?
You're looking at your future. You just walked into your future.
She was like, I'm kind of embarrassed to tell you how many cats I have in my house.
And
but we can go
too.
look on the catio or the other catio to see if there's one that suits you.
Excuse me, the what now?
Catio?
What is that? A cat patio? Mm-hmm. They call it a catio? Is that like a known term?
Yes, and she has multiple catios.
That was like a euphemism for vagina.
She's
what the hell is it?
No, it is.
Oh, it is too.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
I like that.
So we get there, long drive. We walk in, and it seems like a normal house, smells normal. And then you walk into the living room, and you see a kitchen table in the middle that's been covered with some kind of a covering, and there's 7 cats on it.
Just on the kitchen table?
Just on the kitchen table. And you're like, wow, I guess this kitchen table's not being used anymore. And it's one of those things where, like, it seems like there's not a lot of cats, and then the more you look, the more cats that you see.
Little eyeballs everywhere.
Yeah, like you're about to sit on the couch, and there's like 3 cats there.
The hills have eyes.
Yeah, and there's like a cat tree, and there's 1 cat on every single rung of the
Oh,
tree.
my God. How many do you think she had there? If you had a
She
ballpark?
has over 40 cats.
40 cats?
Yeah.
Allie, this is your future. You laugh at this. It's funny. From the outside now, you get to understand how ridiculous this is. You walk into a house that's got cats on the table, cats. You are in a slippery slope, and you're heading this way. And when you just got that scene from Christmas Carol where you got to see your future. What's her name? At the end of the whole thing, she's like, by the way, I'm Allie.
Look, her name's Rhonda. She's very nice.
Yeah,
She has glasses with a chain on it. She was wearing a really hairy top. And she just loves cats more than people, okay? And it started out as something very simple where she was just holding a couple cats for a friend. And then they were like, well, we found this random kitten in an alley. Who are we going to call? Rhonda. And Rhonda has too big of a heart to say no, so she just keeps acquiring all these cats. Next thing you know, every single room and closet is full of cats. Like, you open a closet and there's another litter.
She's a hoarder, right?
But the place doesn't look like a hoarder house. It just looks like a cat hoarder house. There's a difference.
Yeah, it's worse.
She didn't have like useful stuff like old newspapers.
You walk into a bathroom
cats.
and the shower area is just a mom cat and its litter.
Oh my
And
God.
then and then there's a walk-in closet closed off. Kittens in there.
I'm so torn with people like this because I know that in her own mind she thinks she's doing a good thing because she's become a sanctuary for all these cats. In the reality, though, she is being judged by society, and really, at some point, she's going to forget how to even act as a human. She's going to start licking her own hands and stuff.
I think that has already happened.
Oh, you think she's morphing?
Well, yeah, because she would talk to us about something, and then she would bring up the same thing like 1 minute later.
A furball in the middle of the conversation. Excuse me.
And then Katie is talking to her and going, "So, do you have any kids?" I'm like, "Katie, the answer is no.
Clearly.
And she goes, no, I never thought that I would really be a cat, a baby person. I'm more of I like cats more than I like humans, but I'm starting to lose faith in humanity because people just treat their animals like it. It was one of those monologues that she's just a run-on sentence.
Didn't you at some point have a scared straight moment where you looked around and you go like, I gotta not only get out of this house, but I gotta rethink my plan of bringing in more cats into your house?
Klein, normally I would disagree with you, but yes, I think there was a moment where I was like, what am I doing?
Yeah, you should have had that moment, but that moment should have stayed with you.
So then I go, well, we're looking for an orange boy kitten. And she goes, well, the one online I actually adopted already. So we don't have that one.
Same stuff car dealerships do. They put that really good one online to get you in there.
Totally.
And then they go, we don't have that one. But we have similar ones that are a little more.
Yeah. So she goes, there's this other one who's an adult, and his name is Gus, and he would be very happy coming home with you. And I'm like, well, I don't want Gus. I want a kitten. So then she was like, sometimes you just fall in love with one that you didn't expect, and we end up falling in love with not only one, but two kittens. And she goes, it's better if you have two kittens because the cat that you have is older. She's 15 and she's probably only got a few years left. And when she dies, you're going to just have one kitten again, and then you're going to have to get another cat, and the cycle's just going to go on. So just get two now so that when that one dies...
You're going to be a 3-cat house.
We adopted 2 cats.
You son of a bitch.
But the thing is, we don't have them yet because they're so tiny that they can't release them to us yet. They're still, they have to get their shots and stuff. So we have 3 to 4 weeks to wait for the kittens to get here.
How long until you admit that you regret this decision? I'm just curious because I know at first it's cute, they're adorable. How long before you come on the radio and say you guys were right?
Before I answer, will you just see a video of one of them? They're so cute.
Allie, kittens don't do... Yeah, they're little and they're cute, but once again, that's one cat. It's cute. Yeah, I can see why you would like it, but
this one has long hair.
Okay, God damn it.
But the thing is,
you're in trouble.
When they get older, we're gonna have 3 grown-ass cats.
Yeah.
And I don't know what I'm gonna do.
And now you're at a place.
I'm having nightmares about it.
The humans in your place are now going to be equaled by the cats in your place. And then
somebody's going to be like, well, we have a random kitten. Who are we going to call? Allie.
Allie. Rhonda's dead now because she got eaten by her cats? Oh, that's okay. Allie's like a Rhonda in training. She's the next Rhonda.
I am the next Rhonda. Great takeaway.
And when you find out one of those cats you adopted is pregnant, that'll be a fun little oopsie surprise.
Dead.
Right. Yeah, look at that. Now we got 6. Well, we adopted 2. This cat math. You cat math people are crazy.
Hey, more is better. Trust me.
The craziest type of math. Goddamn. Well, congratulations.
Trust Rhonda.
And also condolences. K-Rock.
For my couch.
KROQ. Klein Alley Show. KROQ.
Nonya and Koala and Mama. These are all people that Jake has introduced us to when he goes to the pawn shop near the neighborhood he used to live in. Doesn't live there anymore, so he has not been to the pawn shop in a while. We thought it'd be a great opportunity to get him back to the pawn shop to sell all his fat guy stuff he doesn't need anymore. So he went in there, Allie, with like picnic blankets and spoons he used to eat ice cream
basket?
with. He went in there with a bunch of fat guy things. I had to try to unload them. I think his big fat pants he couldn't wear anymore.
Look, as somebody who has lost weight before, it is a nice freeing feeling to get rid of clothes that are no longer fit you, and you're like, this part of my life is over.
But pawn shop,
it's a victory.
Pawn shop not probably the place to go. And as you know, this is just
Goodwill would be where you go.
This woman, the people at the pawn shop, you don't want to rub them the wrong way because they have a temper. And this was like last time he went there, he walked into the middle of a negotiation that was going south real quick.
No, we don't buy hose without the compressor.
It's too much money. I don't want to buy it.
So, I mean, people are constantly they're yelling at each other about prices.
Get out of here with your compressor.
Fake, and this is that. And so I'm very excited that Jake returned to the pawn shop. Ladies and gentlemen, we call this Jake Goes to the Pawn Shop.
You know what makes it feel even better?
Hold on a second. That's not right.
We call this...
hold on. I was uploading something else.
Oh, Allie, what a fail. We were ready to go.
I know. I was busy. I was doing something.
The guy is very weird.
Jake sells the stuff at the pawn shop. Jake says the value is tip top. Jake says, hey, what are you gonna buy? All they say is,
what's up with this guy?
Jake sells the stuff at the pawn shop.
All right, Jake's back at the pawn shop, and this time he's got his box of fat pants, and there's always that loud music playing when he walks in. Place your bets.
Hey there. How you doing?
Long time, huh?
Do you recognize me?
Yes, of course.
I lost a lot of weight.
So he's hoping that they wouldn't recognize him because he lost a lot of weight.
It's not the same person.
Right, but it's still the weird Jake.
I know who you are.
He probably had that dog on him and everything, so.
Yes, of course.
I lost a lot of weight.
What happened?
What happened? You dying?
What happened? No congratulations, just
I got on the Ozempic.
You were not fat.
Oh, well, thank you.
What'd she say, Jay?
She says you are not fat.
Oh, okay, you were not fat to begin with. Well, you were at your all-time high weight, so thanks to Lasaro, you started losing that weight real quick. Yep. So,
okay.
Now this guy,
he's mentally preparing himself.
This guy is always so disappointed when Jake shows up because he knows he has nothing of value ever. Only to this point.
562 asked, has Jake ever successfully sold anything at the pawn shop? He did sell one, but it was not his item; it was your item.
Right, it was a collector. It was a collector Pez dispenser that he was able to sell, and I think he only got $5 for it.
I got on the Ozempic.
You were not fat.
Oh, well, thank you.
Okay.
This guy sounds so mad already.
So I brought a bunch of my old fat stuff I don't need anymore.
What? What happened to you? Where did you go?
Oh, I moved. I moved to a different part of the city.
That's why you haven't stopped by
that
often. Okay.
Yeah. Did you miss me?
Yeah.
That is the best response I have ever heard to that question. It was like a mix of laughter, shame. It was like every emotion all in one.
In her head, it's just going, don't say no, don't say this. She literally didn't miss him at all. But
did you miss me?
Yeah. Always.
I think she threw up a little bit in her mouth too.
So what a beautiful reunion between Jake and the people at the pawn shop.
Always. Okay. All right. Well, I got some of my old fat stuff I don't need anymore.
No, we're not getting close. No.
No clothes.
No clothes.
She already shuts Jake down. He's just starting to unload all of his treasures. He brought a lot of stuff with him. The reason we originally sent Jake to the pawn shop is because he's got all these dumb things in his nerd hole, like rocks and...
Well, he's got some good concert posters from many years ago that are all good
books.
quality. And when he needs money, because he doesn't make a lot, he will sell things that he's collected over the years, like comic books and things like that.
But he also tries to convince us that all the stuff in there is valuable. And we say there is no value to your little stuffed octopus in there has no value in the real world.
I think he determined that the one most valuable comic he has is not even worth that much.
No. It's really sad. So anyway, that's why we first sent him to the pawn shop. Now he's back. He's trying to sell all the fat guy stuff he no longer can fit into, and she shuts him down right out of the gate when he pulls out his giant pants.
No clothes.
No clothes, no.
My fat pants.
Nope.
These are really good, high-quality jeans that I ripped because I was so fat. You're not interested in these? Extra, extra, extra large. No?
We don't take clothes.
Okay.
Give me something good.
What about this?
Give me something good. No, he's the wrong guy for that.
These are high-quality pants that I ripped because I was so fat. What a great sell.
No wonder she missed you as much as she did. Here's the next item Jake tries to sell at the pawn shop.
Mickey Mouse picnic blanket that I don't need anymore because I don't do picnics anymore.
No picnics?
He's so sad for you. No picnic?
Why couldn't you do a picnic? They are so fun.
That guy loves picnics.
He's always on a picnic.
He's very sad. He's very disappointed. Jake is no longer picnicking because that was the additional meal. That was one of his 9 meals of the day.
No picnics?
No, because I'm like, I don't eat that much anymore. I'm on a diet.
Only near White House.
Sorry?
Only near White House.
Okay. All right.
There's some internal joke there that they think is
Did they
great.
just make a joke about the government?
I think they said only picnics near the White House.
Okay.
But they think it's very funny, and Jake's got no time for laughs. He's right to the next item.
But you don't want the Mickey Mouse picnic blanket? Okay. What about this trophy I got for eating 6 spicy fritters?
So Jake has won. We found out Jake won a food competition where he ate the most spicy fritters.
No, not the most. He just ate. He did a spicy fritter challenge.
Right, but he actually didn't get an award for that. So I think he tried to pass off our ham dogger trophy as the spicy fritter award. And you can't pull. The problem with the pawn shop people is they're so used to being lied to. People are always trying to sell them fake diamonds and fake watches that you can't pull anything over them. I mean, listen to this. He tries to say, I won this award for eating the most spicy fritters, which is a true story. Jake did, but then he tries to give the ham. Listen, this woman, you can't get anything past mama.
For eating 6 spicy fritters.
What the hell is that? Is it a hot dog?
So right away, she's already concerned. Why did he present her with a hot dog trophy?
And why wouldn't Jake just lie and say he won a hot dog competition?
Right. The whole story's backwards. And these guys, pawn shop people, are great at sniffing out liars, dude.
Yeah. Is it a hot dog?
Yeah.
That's a funny thing. I'm dogger. Okay.
Well, anyway, so she
doesn't even like your ham dogger idea.
Right.
Yeah? No? All right. What about, this is a solid gold In-N-Out coin.
Now, this is actually something that could be of value.
Wow.
And, the pawn shops love gold. Nothing makes pawn shops happier than real gold, especially now. So
and Lindsay Snyder, she gave us some precious In-N-Out coins that are good for one meal at In-N-Out, but why would you use it for that? Because those coins don't seem like they come by very often.
No, they are like rose gold in color, very nice. Jake says, I got one solid gold coin, good for In-N-Out, but it's gold. I know you guys like gold, and this is where things start going real south.
Good for...
There is not such a thing as a In-N-Out solid gold coin.
Right away, she said, it doesn't exist. What you're saying is not real.
310 said, maybe Jake was hoping they would pay by the pound.
They were probably hoping for it. Not the case at the pawn shop.
Said it's solid gold. Said it's worth its weight in gold. You can get anything you want on the menu with it.
It's not even heavy enough for gold.
It feels heavy to me.
He's so weak.
So she's already determined this In-N-Out coin is not gold.
Seems like it looks gold.
Good for one burger. You're kidding me, right?
Good for one burger.
She always loses. Eventually, she just decides she's over Jake.
Yeah, I know. And she's excited to see him at first, but she loses her patience quickly.
Because the time is money for the pawn people, and you have nothing of value.
This looks gold.
Good for one burger. You're kidding me, right?
It's worth its weight in gold.
How much you paid?
I didn't. I was
It's
given
not
this.
gold. Who told you it's gold?
Wow.
She starts to get real mad at Jake.
The In-N-Out people.
Okay, it's not gold.
How do you know?
I know that. It's not. Look at my gold coins there, and you will understand what this gold coin is. Right there. That is a gold coin.
It looks the same.
You kidding me, right?
Oh, boy.
Man.
This was even better.
Okay, I'm not arguing with you right now because you're not familiar with coins, okay? But it is not a coin. It's not a gold coin. It's an In-N-Out coin, good enough for one burger. It says there.
Okay, so what do you think this is worth?
Nothing.
So she's determined now. His big finish, the gold coin, is worth nothing.
$6 maybe? In-N-Out burger?
Okay.
Yeah. Combo meal.
What about...
Combo meal. She says combo meal.
So Jake's not having a lot of luck at the pawn shop. He's so desperately trying to unload his fat guy stuff. He's finally down to
Man, don't argue with the pawn shop lady about her goals.
Show. Let's get into your news right now that a brand new hour of the show can officially begin. If you're just joining us this morning, we did mention that KROQ has a very possible mission for you. You have to decide if you'd like to go see My Chem or Linkin Park or Incubus or Blink-182 or The Offspring. You get through when we tell you to call. You're the 20th caller at 800-520-1067. You can pick at your ticket. All those great bands will be here. That is the mission you will choose, and that will be coming up later this morning right here on KROQ. Right now, though, your news.
Grab your Adderall. It's time for A.D.D. News.
All right, as I mentioned, there was a lot of not-so-great news over the weekend. I guess I'll start with the one with the least fatalities, and that would be the IVF clinic that was bombed in Palm Springs. A car bomb went off, blew up half the building, and shattered some windows in neighboring buildings, but miraculously, all of the embryos at the clinic were undamaged. 4 people were injured, 1 person died, and that was the guy who did the bombing. He was in the car when the car bomb went off, and this was considered an act of terrorism. They're investigating him more and whether or not he had a manifesto, but it seemed that his intentions were clear, though they were very confusing to me. I guess he was the opposite of pro-life, so he was anti-life.
Well, you know what? This is how those things should go. I mean, the only guy who dies is that guy, and all the things he was trying
he was
to...
anti-life, so mission accomplished.
For him, mission accomplished. But he, other than
Not a Mission Impossible.
The people...
Yeah, definitely not. Mission complete.
It's kind of... I mean, look...
Well, he was against bringing kids into the world against their will. But if you're going to go to an IVF clinic, it's people who really, really, really want kids. And anyone who donated sperm did so voluntarily. So it's not like anyone is creating life against their will.
If he's trying to get rid of kids that people get without their will, he should blow up a tequila factory.
Totally.
That's what's led to more probably pregnancies than anything else.
Yeah, or like random hotel rooms next to bars.
This seems like just one of those things that was poorly thought out, poorly executed.
You were like way off the mark, dude.
And great, because nothing makes me happier than a terrible person that kind of fails at doing what they were trying to do to bring a lot of destruction to others.
Yeah, and I guess his father is already coming out and talking to the media. He said he hadn't talked to his son in a decade, and that when he was 9, he set fire to their house accidentally, and was also caught playing with grenades.
Whoa!
That setting your house on fire at 9, isn't that like Halloween?
Well,
isn't that what that kid did? Or he killed his family, too?
I think, didn't we all go through a pyro phase, though, where we accidentally lit something on fire?
But I don't think we graduated to grenades.
No, I never did. Wish.
Because we couldn't get our hands on any.
Yeah, I know. Oh.
Yeah, it's messed up. But I'm really glad that, especially with the embryos, like somebody who's been through these fertility clinics and stuff like that, you work so hard and pay a lot of money to get those embryos and have them even exist. So I'm really happy that they were all able to save them. That's incredible. All right, the Foo Fighters have had a dramatic few years.
This is a wild story.
The drama continued when the new drummer Josh Freese announced over the weekend that he has been asked to leave the band. This is what he said. I'll just say it verbatim on his Instagram. The Foo Fighters called me Monday night to let me know they've decided to go in a different direction with their drummer. No reason was given. Regardless, I enjoyed the past 2 years with them, both on and off stage, and I support whatever they feel is best for the band. In my 40 years of drumming professionally, I've never been let go from a band. So while I'm not angry, just a bit shocked and disappointed. But as most of you know, I've always worked freelance and bounced between bands, so I'm fine. Stay tuned for my top 10 possible reasons Josh got booted from the Foo Fighters list.
I look forward to that. He's been invited to come on our show and give out his top list of reasons why he believes he was booted. I can't imagine. Sometimes there's just a vibe. The vibe wasn't there.
Yeah, but wouldn't you figure out if the vibe was there before you even hired the drummer? You know, like if you were going to make a hire like that, wouldn't you test out a bunch of people and, hey, you guys jive with each other, you understand, like there's chemistry, and that's why you've gone with that person in the first place?
It's weird because if you think about the relationship that, Dave had with
Taylor
yeah. for so many years as like such a close friendship.
They were like best friends.
Maybe it was just this weird, it didn't matter who was in that seat for the first person. It's like almost like the first person you date after like a breakup. Sometimes they're in a bad spot regardless. It's not about them at all. You're just not in a place. Maybe anyone that was going to be behind the drum kit for the Foo Fighters, there would have been a weirdness to it, and then they just have to kind of buffer with one another. I don't know.
Maybe Josh was the buffer. He was the rebound drummer.
Maybe that's what it was.
And also Dave Grohl is a drummer himself, so he's probably very particular about the type of drummer that he wants.
But they knew what they were getting.
Yeah, but
exactly.
Also, Taylor's son played some songs with them before. Maybe
he's super young.
Maybe there's a future there. Who knows? But interesting drama, to say the least. And to get we're going in a different direction. As someone who's heard that phrase before, both in relationships and with jobs.
I've gotten that, and I feel it in my heart.
I know that that's a phrase that was come up with by corporate jargon to try to make you feel better about whatever the situation
People
is.
have gone in different directions with me all the time.
Yeah, that's the better direction.
They're always going in a different direction,
different one.
and it's not mine. All right, do you take Discover is a question that may never be asked again. It's hard to believe. It's the end of an era, possibly. Capital One has acquired Discover, and this was a deal that was announced a while ago, but it has finally gone through. It's done and done. They bought Discover for $35 billion, which I can't believe Discover was still worth that much. And all the people that were hanging on to that Discover card thinking, you know what? I'm going to be loyal. Doesn't matter. I'm going to keep it going. But they said for now, Discover and Capital One cards, they do not change. There's no changes for now. I think that will change, though.
All right. There's your first roundup of stuff happening in the world. Your A.D.D news on KROQ. We get into a brand new hour of the show. And we do it after the Killers on KROQ. Good morning.
Show. 106.7 KROQ FM in HD Pasadena, Los Angeles, Orange County. This is the world famous K-Rock.
Good morning and welcome to your Monday here on the world famous K-Rock. We are Klein Alley Show. If you need us, the number is 800-520-1067. Call, text. You can always use that Goatline as well, 844-956-GOAT. In case you think of things after the fact or you can't get through to the live show or you're a podcast listener, listen in a different state. Lots of reasons people use the Goatline. Sometimes they just want to say nice things like this to us, Allie.
I'm drunk and I don't have anything else to do, so I just called and I want to say, hey, fat boy, Klein, what's up?
Yep. Courtesy of Jake's new weight loss, I'm now the new fat boy on the show.
Yeah, fat boy bitch.
209 Klein.
That's 209. Where did that come from? I'm not 209.
It has a good ring to it.
All right.
That's your goal.
You're going to have a few rings.
That's a name I can get to. In fact, this guy says that Jake's weight loss and my weight gain have inspired him to actually go to the website. The whole reason we're doing this thing from Lasara. Listen.
Guys, I can't believe it. I literally just used Lasara Klein 30 and I literally gained 30 pounds.
This guy gained 30 pounds.
209.
You can use Jake 20 and you can lose 20 pounds, save 20%, or use Klein 30 and gain 30 pounds.
And I literally gained 30 pounds. Bro. Jake, come on, dog. You got to help this guy out.
All right, I'm not...
How's he going positive when you're going negative, dog?
Yeah, we're swapping. We're yinging and yanging, Jake and I. So there you go. Jake's now the skinny Jake. In fact, he looks today, I know he's wearing a black T-shirt, slim in color, but Jake looks, at this point now, he's in fighting shape.
I know. I saw a picture
ready.
of him on Instagram over the weekend, and everybody was commenting about how great Jake looked.
Jake, you were at
I didn't see any of those comments.
Jake, you were at a funeral this weekend, right?
Oh, yeah. I went to the Central Valley for my uncle's funeral.
Did people comment on how good-looking you were?
No, they had. They're all cousins. They don't do that.
But
I think he was skinny when the last time you saw him, though.
And it's been so long that I just look the same.
Oh, got it. Okay.
I didn't see him for like 4 years.
Oh, smart move. That's good. So they missed all of your heaviest years.
Right, exactly.
All right. Well, there you have it. Jake is now skinny. He's down a ridiculous amount of weight, and now I weigh more than Jake.
Yeah.
We've really swapped.
I know. It's nice.
Fat boy.
It's
Thank
good.
you.
We're all switching roles.
All right. Thank you, honey. I love you. See
I
ya.
got a fat stomach.
Yeah, we
I'm
know.
hot.
We
You're
got it.
fat.
820-1067 to join us. Do you agree or disagree with the following statement about Las Vegas, particularly that people have a very love-hate relationship? Very few people are just mid on Vegas. They're either, oh my God, that place is awesome, I'll look for any reason to go there, I love it always, or they despise it. Maybe they used to love it, now they hate it because it got too expensive or too crowded.
Or they love it Friday and hate it Sunday.
Or midweek Vegas, very underrated. I'm a huge fan of the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays Vegas.
Yeah, because the casinos aren't super crowded.
A variety of things, but I mean, you can get into the restaurants. It's more of a local feel, and then you get all the people that are in there for the work conventions. But I also think that Vegas has very different identities, because I think that Vegas, and if you've been a few times, and most people that live in Southern California have been to Vegas for different reasons. There's the Vegas trip you would do, at least in my case, with a big group of single guys, and that's either bachelor party style, or it's just the, what are we going to do? Where's a place that can accommodate all of us, and potentially we could all meet women that want to actually have sex with us? Let's go to Vegas. The odds are in our favor, and also not in our favor, but still. Then there's you're in a relationship and you do the couples weekend to Vegas, which is a totally different Vegas vibe altogether.
Yeah, and you can hit up the spas, or you can just get wasted together and casino hop.
Right. There's all these things in Vegas, like restaurants, that I didn't even know existed when I went with all my guy friends. I was like, wait, there's sit-down restaurants
I know.
here?
And the best part about those restaurants is you could be dressed up and the person next to you can be wearing only a G-string.
Yeah, they're
and you're like, this is great.
Right. So there's that. And then there's the work trip to Vegas, which I have been to when I would go to Pizza Expo every year, which is, we've gone for the show, but I don't really consider that a work trip because we're usually having fun with listeners. But I'm saying where it's a work Vegas trip, which is also, to me, a totally different sort of Vegas vibe.
Yeah, and you also wonder, gosh, can I fit in anything fun while I'm here?
Yes, and usually,
if you're on a work trip, you're doing something that's kind of consolidated into one space, but you're like, I'm also in Vegas.
The one Vegas trip I have yet to go on, but I am thinking about doing it this weekend, is the Vegas with kids.
Oh, wow. It's come to this.
It's come to this.
So I always see families, obviously, they're all over the place, but they're having a completely different Vegas experience than I am as I, giraffe walk all over the strip and fall over myself. But they seem like they're all having a great time.
I would think as a child, and I never got to go to Vegas when I was a kid, but I would imagine as a child,
I went once.
It's probably an amazing thing. And I know they tried to make it all family friendly in that town with roller coasters and Blue Men groups and crap like that. But I would still think now, once again, a bunch of stuff that I have never, in all of my times in Vegas, I never went to a magic show. I never did the stuff that you would do that's probably there more for kids.
I know the one thing that I remember when I was there with my dad was that pirate ship show.
Right, all that stuff.
Yeah, and I was like, what is happening? There's an actual pirate fight happening, in front of my eyes. And even the fountain and stuff like that, the first time you see it is really cool.
Yeah.
Even just walking around. There was a lot of walking and seeing things as you walk.
Because that's the one thing that you can do that's kind of free. It's just keep walking.
Yeah.
Hey, you want to go on that boat? Nope, we're not stopping.
Yeah,
just look at
because
the boat.
you're also trying to tire the kids out.
That's the goal.
Right.
But it's funny because, people now, I think more than ever, are going where can I drive to? I don't want to fly, not only because I just don't trust airplanes anymore, but because everything's gotten super expensive. So you start going, where's the drivable places? And obviously Vegas is super drivable from here. But I was just thinking how much fun I always looked forward to the guys' trip to Vegas with all of my guy friends. And at one point it was 20 guys, and then it became 10 guys, and then it became 3 guys that were still holding on. Are we still doing this thing? And everyone's like, dude, we're married now. Good luck, have fun.
Yeah.
And then you get past that, and then you get to the point where the people that are married are like, now I really need this guy's trip to. So then that number starts climbing again. It goes back to 7 guys, and back to 10, and we're almost full force again. And now I feel like this is the final nail, to me, at least in the Vegas coffin. If I do it, is Vegas with your own children.
Yeah, but my grandma used to go with all of her other grandma friends, and that you can look forward to.
Oh, great.
It's old people penny slot Vegas trip.
Oh man, that's the one last group I've completely forgotten about.
It'll be fun.
Yeah,
you'll get your ear pierced. It'll be great.
The group that sits around with the oxygen tanks.
Yeah.
And smokes cigarettes while taking oxygen at the same time.
That's fun.
That sounds fun.
Yeah.
I like that because then you're playing with your
open flame next to oxygen tank.
Yeah,
very safe.
Yeah, you think that volcano is fun outside? Wait till you see that, huh?
KROQ listener, your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to infiltrate one of these KROQ shows. My Chemical Romance at Dodger Stadium, July 27th. The Offspring at the Kia Forum, August 29th.
Yeah?
Incubus at Intuit Dome, October 4th. Let's go. 22 at Acrisure Arena October 5th. And Lincoln Park at Intuit Dome September 13th.
That you cut me open just to watch me burn. This is what you asked for. Heavy is the crowd.
To choose your mission, you must engage at precisely 0900, 1200, 1500, or 1800 hours. That's 9 noon, 3 and 6 for civilians. Be color 20 and your mission is greenlit. Operation Choose Your Mission is now underway. This message will self-destruct in 5 seconds. Courtesy of Live Nation and the world famous.
Question: what were you kicked out of? The reason we bring that up now on KROQ is because, if you think about it, this band right here that you're listening to had a drummer. That drummer, many years later, started his own band. Then that band needed a drummer, and they brought a guy in named Josh Freese. Over the weekend, they let him know that they were going to go in a different direction. And we'd like to hear your stories of times that you were kicked out, thrown out, or broken up with. 800-520-1067. Show. Big rock band news, drummer news over the weekend. Ali just reported on it during the A.D.D news, but the Foo Fighters brought in a drummer. They made the official announcement. It's probably close to a year, I think, after we lost Taylor Hawkins, and they said that we're bringing Josh Freese to officially join the band. He's had some career. He's played with The Offspring for a while, Guns N' Roses, Nine Inch Nails. He's one of those drummers that whenever a band needs a drummer, they're like, this guy
plug it in.
You figure it out, and for all accounts I've heard, he's like a likable, nice guy. Everyone seems to like him.
Yeah, and so it's weird to suddenly get this phone call out of nowhere saying, we're going in a different direction.
Right.
And it leaves you wondering, what did I do wrong? What other direction are they going in? And you don't really have a lot of closure.
This was the post. Foo Fighters called me on Monday night, let me know that they've decided to, quote, go in a different direction with their drummer. No reason was given. So anyway, he went on to explain that he can't quite figure out why, but that's the decision they made. So our question for you is, when is the time that someone in your life decided to, quote, go in a different direction? Maybe you got thrown out of somewhere, kicked out of somewhere. Maybe they were in the right. Maybe they weren't. Maybe you still don't know. It's been years. You're like, that was the weirdest thing ever, but I was doing this job, thought I was doing a great job, and they just told me don't come in anymore.
Yeah, and then you always wonder, what different direction did they go in?
800-520-1067 to join us. We'll give away some tickets. Let's see what we got here. Shane Wang at the Bank of America Performing Arts Center, Thousand Oaks, on September 13th. We'll get you into that show.
818 said, I was kicked out of college for having too many absences, but was able to appeal, and they took me back. And I had to be on probation for like a year. But to this day, my parents have no idea.
That's a good secret.
So they got kicked out of school and then brought back into school, and the parents never knew.
Let's say hi to 323. Good morning. You're on KROQ. What happened to you? What'd you get kicked out of?
Hi, good morning, Sweet Divots.
Sweet Dips.
So in 8th grade, I was new to a school. I made some really good friends, and about half a year into the academic year, they all got together and wrote me a letter that they didn't want to be my friend anymore.
Oh, no, that's so rough.
They went in a different direction with friends?
They sure did.
Yeah. Did they give a reason in the letter or what?
No, they all just were like, so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so agree that we don't want to be friends with you anymore.
Kids are so brutal.
Very, very mean girls.
Yeah. And I bet they were all together going, like, we should write her a letter because F her.
Were you blindsided by that letter? Like, did it come out of left field for you, or did you sense there was trouble in paradise?
No, it was totally blindsided.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we'll all be fake to your face. You see, Klein.
Yeah, that's
You have
rough.
to continue to be fake to their face.
That was probably one of those situations where one of the girls had the idea for whatever reason, and then they're all like, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, let's hate her.
Let's all hate her. And we know cursive now. Let's use it and write a letter.
It's crazy what us girls would do when we're bored.
Haley, what happened to you? What were you kicked out of? Talking about Josh Freese just kicked out of the Foo Fighters. No reason given to. He doesn't even know why, but we'll probably learn, I would imagine, maybe. What happened to you?
Hi. I got kicked out of a club one time for dancing in a fountain.
Cool.
I don't understand why you would throw someone out for doing something that makes the vibe much cooler. Like, that's a better story now. Like, oh, man, how was last night? It was crazy. There's a girl dancing in the fountain. Like, that's a story you tell. Were you warned, or that was just one in the fountain and you're out?
Yeah, I was just one in the fountain and then out. And there was no water in the fountain, too.
Oh.
That's even funnier.
Were you swimming?
Just dancing in an empty fountain.
Yeah, all right. That's just weird, because a fountain without water is just kind of just another
rocks.
It's just another structure, and they tossed you out.
Yeah, because if you're dancing hard enough, you could just end up in a fountain and you don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
If there's no water, then who cares?
I blame Friends for that. I think a lot of people saw that stupid show and they go, man, that's fun right there. That's how white people have fun. They
Pretend
dance in
there's a
fountains.
couch, jump on it.
Hey, Brian, what were you kicked out of?
I was kicked out of a band.
Oh,
2 weeks ago, actually.
Wait, how long have you been in the band you were in?
For about 2 years. It's the first time I've been kicked out of a band in 25 years.
And what instrument did you play?
I played guitar.
Why did they tell you they were kicking you out?
They said I wasn't participating enough in, marketing the band, which I thought was kind of crazy because about 90% of the streams we got on Spotify were due to a couple of playlists that I manage.
You're not in the band, what was that Parakeet band to listen to our show?
Oh, Savage Parakeet.
Are you in Savage Parakeet?
No.
What was your band's name?
It's called Aim for the Heart.
Okay.
Well, they really did.
We're not going to support that. We're not going to support that band anymore.
But what if that band just blows up now?
Hey, there's always those stories.
And then you're like, I was the guy that got kicked out right before they made it.
Man, I shouldn't announce this yet, but headlining Acoustic Christmas next year is, what was his band's name?
It's whatever that band
Whatever
was.
that.
Aim for the Heart.
Aim for the Heart. That's the big scoop we're giving you this morning on KROQ. Hey, Jack, you're on KROQ. What happened?
I was at Disneyland, and we got kicked out because my buddy decided it would be funny to pee off the side of Splash Mountain.
Funny.
Caught it on the cameras.
Oh,
and,
no.
Yeah.
They threw you out, too, just by being with him? You were tossed as well?
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
sucks
just
that
as
you had
by
to get kicked
proxy.
out because of what somebody else did.
Did you try to talk him out of it, or did you encourage it, or were you unaware it was happening?
No, it just kind of started happening, and we all thought it was funny at the time. It was high school, but it sucked.
Yeah, they don't want that. They got eyes everywhere there. They don't play around. You get away with that stuff at other local amusement parks, but not Disney. They won't put up with that.
No,
for a
they
second.
do not tolerate that stuff. 818, I got kicked out of a strip club for making it rain with quarters. 323, I got kicked out of my grandma's funeral just because my aunt doesn't like me and I was never supposed to be invited. So then she showed up and they were like, you need to leave.
That's tough to get
That
tossed.
is embarrassing.
Hey, Jose, what happened to you? Talking about things you got kicked out of or tossed out of in honor of Josh Freese, tossed out of the Foo Fighters after a year of playing drums with them. Because they basically spent a year not playing music at all after the Dave Grohl scandal. So
Right.
what's up, Jose?
So we got kicked out of a hotel room in Vegas. We rented a suite with like 20 people, and we didn't register to the room. And we were being pretty loud after the club, and the 3 people that didn't register got kicked out. At the end of the night, I had to drive back to SoCal.
Oh, that's brutal.
That's rough when you have to drive back way earlier than you intended and in the middle of the night. But I think you have to do a lot to get kicked out of a hotel room in Vegas.
Especially a suite, because they know you're paying. No one gets a suite so they can catch up on sleep.
No, and they know. And even if you're sleeping in a hotel room in Vegas, you're going to hear people loudly partying, and you just think it's part of it.
And what were you kicked out of, Saul?
Hey, I got fired from my previous job along with like 30 other people, and they had told us it was because the business was slow, but then we ended up finding out that the manager had stolen $50,000 from the company.
Oh, damn.
50,000 doesn't seem like enough
That's
to
not a
fire
lot.
30 people,
Yeah.
but still, maybe they were looking at as the scapegoat for you.
626 said I got kicked out of a club for being drunk and riding a mechanical bull while it wasn't even on.
Yeah, they get. So if you ever go to a place that has a mechanical bull like Saddle Ranch, and you don't play by the rules of the bull,
Well,
like
yeah, because you have to sign a bunch of stuff to
yeah,
go in
yeah,
there.
they are not happy when you get on it uninvited or before they
Even
call
if
your
it's
name.
not moving and you're just going,
Yeah. They'll toss your ass. All right, so there you go. Josh Freese is in good company. A lot of people have decided to go in different directions, as we've learned on KROQ. We are Klein Alley Show, streaming on YouTube as well. If you want to see what we look like, we are pitting out hardcore now because they have decided not to pay for utilities in the building we do the show in. So it is painfully hot. Technically, they said the AC went on starting at 7 a.m.
Can't tell.
Cannot tell. In fact, I would say it feels hotter now than it did before 7 a.m.
I know. And now I'm weirdly starting to get used to it. I'm trying to just think that I'm in hot yoga, but not doing very well.
Well, the good news is Jake will be bringing his very popular segment, Pit Stop, to the KROQ studio and the halls here. He'll be making sure people are wearing deodorant. Allie just remembered she did not put on deodorant today.
No, I usually go back into the bathroom after I get dressed and put deodorant on, and I was running late, so I did not.
And you're sleeveless, too. So to go sleeveless and no deodorant is
Take
like...
a whiff, Jake.
Jake, get in there. Give Allie a real live... Pit, hold on, I got your intro. Hold on one
and
second.
according to 818, I need to get rid of this shirt because it looks like I'm wearing a potato sack.
Oh, I thought that's what that was.
No.
Here's
This is
Jake's
a shirt.
intro. It's Pit Stop.
Hey, it's Jake, and I'm on the streets of Los Angeles during the hottest day of the year, during the hottest time of the day, to see if people are willing to take a KROQ pit stop. Yeah, pit stop. Pit stop. Pit stop. Yeah, pit stop.
You know, not only is that intro way it's too long, Jake. It's anyway. Regardless, go ahead. Give Allie a proper sniff now.
Is he going to sniff you too? Because we both got to get pit
Yeah,
checked.
if he wants to pit check me, he can pit check me. But give Allie a real pit stop.
And let me preface this by saying, even if I don't wear deodorant, I'm not a smelly person.
Don't defend yourself before he smells you by saying I'm not a smelly person. He's going to decide.
Pits are hairy.
No, they're not.
Oh, man. Right there.
Jesus.
I have a tiny bit of stubble. Everyone has hair. Stop it.
Oh,
No, you
God.
can't pull it.
I just pulled it.
You pulled-
Ouch.
Hold on. He's getting
Oh, my
in.
God, you're really in there.
Oh, Jake's making a face.
Jake, come on.
Jake, don't.
Best,
Not the best. All right.
Not
You know
the
what? Get
best.
out of here.
Not the best is your review of Allie's
Not
pits?
the best. You're the smelliest guy on the show.
Jake,
I smelled worse pits.
Jake, go ahead. Get in my pits right now. Give these pits a sniff right there. What do you think?
Better.
Well,
Yeah,
because he
better.
wore deodorant.
Better. That's right.
This
What-
is me
Smells like
without
a
deodorant.
Nice application of deodorant right
That's
there.
right, because I'm a human, and I believe that if you're around other humans,
All right,
should wear
Jake, on a
deodorant.
scale of 1 to Joyce, how was I?
You were just above Joyce. Just slightly above Joyce.
do you have the wet rag to help wash Allie down like Joyce did, or no?
Look at red
So I
rag.
don't have to walk around with these things anymore.
All right, well, there you have it. It was a live in studio.
Who wants to pit check me?
No one.
I'm gonna pass.
I'm going to pass
on
out. I'd rather pass
That
out.
was a live pit stop for you this morning. I recommend you do the same with your coworkers. It really brings you guys closer together.
I do feel intimate with Jake at this moment.
Yeah. All right. Well, there you have it. Someone bring a razor in here for Allie.
Let me get a dry shave in.
Let's clean them pits.
A weed whacker?
It's Blink. We'll give you tickets to see them later this morning on KROQ. Blink could be your mission if you choose to accept it later this morning and at 9, noon, 3, and 6 all day on KROQ. You get to select your mission. Will it be Blink-182, My Chemical Romance, Linkin Park, Incubus, or The Offspring? The choice will be yours. You pick your mission. You'll have your first chance to decide starting at 9 with us this morning, and we'll do that all day and all week long here on KROQ. So many stories continuing to pour in about things that people were kicked out of after we talked about the story of the Foo Fighters kicking out their newest drummer. And this is a great one, but a guy that got tossed out of his gym because he was grunting too loud, and they told him to not come back. Now, I would agree a loud grunter is unnecessary, but to officially be told, I mean, gyms never want you to leave, so for them to come up and say, here's your gym membership, it's no longer valid. Thanks for the grunting.
We're going to make this real easy for you. And you know what? I think even worse than grunting is the people who go...
Oh, yeah, make those weird noises. This may be the best story, though, yet, and it's Mike on the phone right now from the 818. Mike, what happened to you?
So I was part of at my old work, we did the weekly lottos that I'm sure everyone does, where you throw in $2. I happened to have been sick the day that they collected the money from everyone, and then our office ended up winning $65,000, and they wouldn't put me in, even though I had done it every single week, but was absent that 1 week.
I mean, the one benefit to the story, and it sucks because it was only $65,000, which is a lot of money, and that would have been great to win. But it wasn't one of those, $5.5 or $500 million lotto wins where it would have been completely life changing forever. How much did each person end up taking? I mean, once taxes are done, you split that among everyone there. What did they all get? $10K?
It came out to about $3,000 for each person. Yeah,
at least enough to even you out. But how annoying is that? That every week you're in on the $2. You're sick 1 week, you don't put in your $2, and then that's the week that they win.
And I got kicked out. Yeah,
they kicked you out. Yep. And they probably didn't let you back in after that because they realized that you're the one mush that's holding them from winning.
Totally, right?
I was the alley of the group. Yeah,
so they did it. I'm glad I'd be coming down. Great. That would happen to me too. What he's explaining would happen.
Allie's a noun now.
Now, great.
I became the alley of that group. All right, well, that'll be a new story for another time.
This money is going in a different direction.
If you are the alley of your group, we'd love to hear your reason why.
We'll start it over.
Yeah, we'll do it all over again. We got to take a quick break. Back in a second. Your A.D.D. News. Then a brand new hour of the show can officially begin here on KROQ.
Klein Alley Show.
The receiver's antenna circuit is tuned to one of the many high-frequency carrier waves.
106.7 FM.
Broadcast by the station.
The world-famous KROQ.
All right, it's time for the premiere that the world never asked for, but we're going to give it to you anyway. Allie had the balls, and you can see them in the video. To try on.
Never too old for those.
To try on what was once Omar's biggest fetish, panty haul videos, all the rage on YouTube. It's models or usually attractive people trying on underwear. They claim it's so that other women can buy good underwear for them, but we're pretty sure it's just a bunch of perverted guys watching it.
Yeah, which I did watch some other panty hauls before I made mine, and it doesn't seem like anyone is doing what I'm doing.
Well, there's a
usually
reason.
they kind of like sex it up, yeah, or they'll do like lacy underwear or thong underwear. So I haven't clicked on the link either. So
Allie, we're gonna watch this for the first time. This is Allie's video. It's on YouTube as well. It is our way of celebrating 100,000 subscribers to KROQ's YouTube channel, where you can watch our show live every morning. So I'm gonna click on this. Hold on 1 second, and we're gonna listen to this together. If you'd like to be a part of this world premiere, this is Allie doing her first and last ever panty haul. Well, I shouldn't say last ever. Who knows? Maybe it's super successful.
I don't think this is going to be successful.
Maybe this is
I really don't know why I've built up to this at all. It's going to be highly disappointing.
Also, all the panty haul videos get tens of thousands minimum, if not hundreds of thousands of views.
Millions of views.
Yeah,
mostly all just Omar.
Because of the quality of the panties.
So whenever you're ready, I'm going to hit play. We're all going to watch this for the first time. This is Allie's panty haul video.
It's on the YouTube Shorts on KROQ's YouTube page if you want to follow along.
All right, so here we go. Whenever you're ready, hit it and go.
I got 3 different brands of granny panties from Amazon. Let's try them on. First, I started with the H. Pavov high-waist ladies knickers with soft stretch in a 5-pack.
Hold on, pause
and
it.
breathe it.
I had to pause it in mine already.
I'm telling you, you don't want this.
They are so big. I've never seen a bigger pair of underwear in my life.
Why are you lunging?
Because I wanted to show them that you can move around and they won't move.
And karate kicking for any reason? Why the karate kicks?
Just because I was feeling myself.
Okay.
That's what you have to do creative things. You can't just stand there.
Are these underwear for comedy's sake, or are they for real? Like, would someone wear these for real?
No, these are real. They had
they
had comedic ones that were like, like gag gifts.
These aren't the
comedic
ones?
No.
They're pretty funny.
They're really
They're
real.
so funny.
Okay, let's keep going. Apple was right. These retail for $11.99 on Amazon. No camel toe. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, God, they're pulled up so... Wow.
I'm being sexy in them, though. But you see me doing a little pout?
I will give you credit.
I was doing a pouty face.
You have... I'm telling you, this is your new low. It really is. But
I was thinking that as I was shooting it upstairs while my nail.
Oh, you see her tramp stamp?
Okay.
Yeah. It's that weird thing on her belly button.
Okay, it's not a weird thing on my belly. It was something until I got pregnant. Now it is kind of a blob. Let's keep going. I also really enjoyed the color selection, and you can easily move around without them slipping. I'm moving around. Next up was the Petit Wez's women's underwear 4-pack high-waist cotton gusset Nishamande 4-waist stretch. These are cutting off the circulation just a little bit. Don't know how it's going to hold.
Pause again. Hold on. I need more of that
These
tequila.
I just had.
Let me have that tequila bottle over here. I got to do another shot.
You want another shot?
Where's the bottle? Is it still here? Can I pour this in my eyes, you think? Allie, hold on.
This is what you were being so complimentary of me during the show. I'm like, clearly he hasn't seen it.
I haven't seen the video yet. Now I've seen it for the first time. I mean, I can't believe how much you're really going for it here.
When I lose a bet and I do something, I say I'm going to do it. I really do it.
Yeah, and this is the
I had to film this while my in-laws were downstairs watching TV.
This is the first swipe left I've seen all day.
Okay, thank you, Jake.
There is, first of all,
my kids saw this video.
People are loving it. I mean,
bro, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go check out that teaser that Allie put up of that panty haul or whatnot.
I mean, people cannot say enough good things about it, Al. You're getting rave reviews.
Yo, just contemplate that Allie's freaking my granny panty haul was looking a little bit hot. Like, yo, Allie, you looking a little milfy, girl. What the hell?
You look a little milfy, girl. All right, moving on. We only have about 25 seconds left of this.
Okay, so I put on a pair of... Are you at the blue polka dot ones yet?
Hold on. You're still wearing this weird black matching set here.
Oh, okay. These I just had. So the blue ones I just had, so I put those on.
Okay.
No. And finally, for $7.19, Warner's Women's Blissful Benefits Breathable Moisture Wicking Microfiber Briefs. These came in toasted almond, butterscotch, and black. Don't breathe. Right, if you plan on staying in this position all day, these are a great buy. But there was one more option I heard about, and I couldn't post the video without trying. These were a 10 out of 10.
All right.
Get yours at the KROQ shop.
That's not a
Just
thing
kidding,
anymore.
that doesn't exist.
All right.
Bye.
Great video. Wow. What a surprising end to that whole thing. I didn't even see that coming.
It ends in me in a diaper.
Not enough tequila in the world for that one. Allie, well done.
Check it out on the YouTube Shorts.
Worth it for that last shot of you wearing the official KROQ Klein Alley Show rock pants. We're going to get out of
Joe says
here.
goodbye.
What a
Mwah.
fitting song to wrap up that chat with. This is messy. Sure is. Takeaways next, K-Rock. Pick which one you want to go to. Remember these numbers, you'll need them, 800-520-1067. Let's get your news right now, then we can kick off a brand new hour of the show and figure out how we would all do in prison. Seems like everyone's going to prison these days, and I've always said this, Allie, but you should always have a prison skill on the ready. You never know, even if you think you're going to live a upstanding, respectful life, at some point could be a case of mistaken identity where you got to survive for a few weeks.
Yep.
Got to have a skill.
And your skill is going to be your butt.
No, that's not my skill.
Yeah, you got 2 buttholes, dude. That's your skill. God gave it to you.
But that's why I'm going to do a different skill so they don't find out about that. I'm going to make toilet wine.
I'll make sure they know.
Toilet wine is going to be my skill.
I'll do a flyover with the
you better
Klein.
not. You better
Klein
not.
has 2 buttholes.
Yeah, well, I won't go by Klein in there. That's another skill I'm going to avoid quickly. Let's get into your news now.
Grab your Adderall. It's time for ADD News.
All right, I'm probably not a good driver, and I definitely know I'm not a good boat driver, so I can't really criticize what happened on this Mexican Navy training ship that hit the Brooklyn Bridge over the weekend. The video is shocking. The video is like watching a very slow car crash that you can't look away from. You see this giant ship, giant Pirates of the Caribbean-ass ship, heading towards the Brooklyn Bridge. It's obviously too tall to go under it, but it just keeps going and going until the mast hits the bottom of the bridge. Parts of it break off, fall down onto the ship. 2 people died. They say the ship was not intentionally headed in that direction. The wind and the current took it there, so they weren't able to control it. I mean, it's a big-ass ship, so I would imagine it would take a while to turn that thing around and not, and like get out of that direction and not hit the bridge. The worst part is that after this happened, they had to spend the night on the ship. Like, they pulled over, they parked at like Pier 36 or whatever, and there are people injured that had to go to the hospital, and like I said, 2 people died, and then they just have to stay on the ship and spend the night there. And now they have to somehow get the ship back to be repaired, and a lot of them are just going to fly home.
You think that's the worst part, is that they had to sleep on the ship, not the 2 people died?
Well, no, I think that what a traumatic thing to happen to you.
Of course.
And there's people, I mean, I would hope that they got the 2 dead people off, and then you have to just sit there on the ship with this, like, disaster that happened just right above you.
What's so crazy, too, is that I think like a bridge that's been there for, I don't know, 100 years, it's pretty well documented exactly how tall your ship can or cannot be to clear it. And the idea that you wouldn't know that is always shocking to me.
But they weren't trying to go under it.
But also, like, my car, if I get anywhere near anything, all the bleeps and bloops, you know.
A lot of beeps.
Doesn't this have a beep?
The ship looked old.
Sensor?
The ship looked old. Allie's right. It kind of had that old pirate ship vibe.
It was. I
So
was
maybe
like,
it doesn't have
dude,
beeps
I
and
didn't
boops.
realize they even still had ships like
crazy.
that. It's crazy. But I also think that I'm surprised this doesn't happen more often because, yeah, I'm sure that all the vessels that go underneath the Brooklyn Bridge have some kind of experience. Everyone's been in a parking structure where you're like, whoa, I don't know if I'm going to make this, but I'm already going through.
Yeah.
I hope I make it.
I'm
and then
committed.
you do.
And we do see videos every once in a while, I feel like, of a truck that's trying to get under just even an overpass on the freeway.
Yes.
And all of a sudden gets pancaked.
Yeah, I know. And then they have those like little signs up that say the clearance, but I don't know feet and inches.
No, how could you possibly know that?
I'm like
Who knows?
6'3". I don't know.
I do that thing
Is my
where
car tall enough? I
when-
don't even know how tall my car is.
Sometimes when I'm going through a car wash or even a parking garage, I will, even though I'm inside the car, I will find myself ducking down in the driver's seat. Like that's going to do anything.
Well,
like
it might help if you actually, cuts off the top.
I feel like, but I don't stop or turn around. I just go, I feel like this is going to be really close. And I duck down. Like it's going to do anything to save the car.
Yeah, but I think they were in that area, and then all of a sudden the current and the wind just started taking them under the bridge. And they were like, we're not going to, we can't clear that bridge. Let's try and turn around. And they just weren't able to because the ship was too huge. All right. If you suffer from migraines, it is a terrible thing. Vanessa, I think you suffer from migraines, don't you?
I get a bunch of headaches all the time.
Yeah, and I think when people get those, especially regularly, it's like, there's no cure. Just put me in a dark room with a cold compress and I'll see you tomorrow. And apparently TikTok has found a solution for migraines, and it has to do with a specific order at McDonald's. I'm sure this is 100% accurate.
This is definitely 100 on the doctor board certified. Go ahead. What does the official medical, if you have a migraine right now, beeline to a McDonald's drive-thru. This is what you've been looking for.
You can tell the cashier that you would like the migraine meal, which is a Coca-Cola and a large fry. And many migraine sufferers are saying that this combo has solved their migraine problems.
Wait.
And, someone said I've had a headache for 48 hours, and TikTok said this would help. So they order the Coke and fries, and they say it went away.
Literally, Ricky just told me this the other day. He told me that his wife swears by Coke and fries.
Really?
He told me this the other
It
day.
it must be some sort of the sodium mixed with the sugar. And it somehow helps you out. It's funny because I actually order a lot of times. I will think to myself when I'm craving McDonald's, but I don't feel like being a total pig, I will just get fries and a Coke or fries and the iced coffee. Love that order. That's called I don't have a name for that meal yet.
The sad radio host meal.
That's the sad radio host meal. You go there, you say, I want the sad radio host meal.
If you want to cure your ambition.
It's a small iced coffee and a medium fries.
But I also think McDonald's could use some great PR right now.
Sure could.
They could use a viral meal. Chipotle had all those like meal hacks and In-N-Out and stuff like that. And I think McDonald's, they've got the migraine meal now. It's something to go on.
Could be their Jared Fogle. Let's go. This could be your.
Don't mess it up.
This could be your Subway, Jared.
And then finally, some bad news for the former president. They shared that former President Joe Biden has an aggressive form of prostate cancer, and they said that it has spread to his bones. But they also said that it it responds to hormonal treatment. So they're hoping that they would be able to do effective treatment on his cancer. But of course, it has a lot of people wondering because the election happened the way it did. How long did he know about this cancer diagnosis? Or, thinking about how things could have played out if Biden had been the guy and stayed the guy and been elected, then he would be already, not even a year into his presidency. And has an aggressive form of cancer that they may not be able to cure.
It made me embarrassed with how many clips that Omar plays of former President Biden. But then at the same time, I was thinking,
He would have wanted this.
this is all right. A Big Bird Man makes everyone.
Happy birthday, dear Salad.
That's right. Happy birthday, Salad. We're all thinking of you right now.
Cancer schmancer.
That's right.
That's how we say it. And that, by the way, you want to go get the cancer meal at McDonald's? Here's what you need to do, all right? You get an egg,
double-double.
egg McMuffin. They don't have double-doubles
Oh, yeah,
there,
that's
Allie.
right.
Jesus Christ. That's a cancer meal right there. It's an egg McMuffin, and you just pour a black hot coffee on your lap. There you go. Cancer schmancers. K-Rock.
KROQ FM in HD Pasadena, Los Angeles, Orange County. This is the world famous K-Rock.
Good morning. Welcome to K-Rock. We are Klein Alley Show. If you need us, the phone's 800-520-1067. In less than an hour, you get to select your mission. All missions lead to a different amazing K-Rock band at a different venue, and you can choose. Maybe you're in the mood for some Blink or some MyChem or some Offspring. A lot of bands. You can see all the details up on our socials, Klein Alley Show, and at KROQ. Tyler, what's up, buddy? You're on the phone right now this morning. What's going on?
Hey, what's up? My name's actually Tom, but it's okay. I'm
That's
from
close.
Maryland, and that's close enough. I'm from Maryland, and I actually have multiple sclerosis, and I have really bad migraines. I take prophylactics for it daily, and I have a migraine that breaks through my medication is to get fries and a Coke from McDonald's.
Wow,
So
that's
actually-
interesting. Yeah, 562 said same thing. I get migraines, and the McDonald's thing works as long as you take it also plus a 15-minute nap right after.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
Yeah.
You take the nap as well?
No, I don't take the nap, but from what I understand, when you have migraines, you need a higher level of caffeine. And then also the salt in the fries helps with the blood-brain barrier so you can absorb the caffeine easier. So it really does help you when you have migraines.
Explain the migraine meal. And
they need to add it to the menu officially.
I think they will now because it's getting a lot of buzz. But I was thinking about this as I was reading the text line, too. People have said things like, I have my own hangover meal that I've created at different fast food places. Someone said I have a breakup meal that I get whenever I'm going. So there's all these different medical, not officially medical meals that we've created using fast food.
I need to go get my breakup meal at McDonald's. It's definitely a good thing to say.
Or whatever
if you
it may
have
be.
a breakup, if you've been broken up with so many times that you have a breakup meal at McDonald's,
maybe you're the problem.
Yeah, look at your life a little.
Thank you for calling, Tyler or Tom. Appreciate you listening to the show, and good luck with all that. Whatever he's got. He's got a lot going on, it sounds like. We're here for you. I'm glad we could be supportive.
Yeah, we love you.
We are like your migraine meal every single morning on KROQ. This hour, how would you do in prison? We've got the unofficial/official prison quiz to determine what type of prisoner you would be, we would be, which one of us would survive, which one of us would get shivved on the first night. And we'll get into that this hour on the show, plus get you into those many, many concerts that we chatted about. If you need us, do not be a stranger. We've got the phones for a reason. And for right now, this company has paid the phone bill, so they are active currently. Don't know if I can say that again tomorrow. 800-520-1067. To call or to text, we are Klein Alley Show on a Monday morning right here from the world-famous KROQ. That anger Omar more than probably any other three-word phrase in the history of the English language, and yet for some reason we cannot seem to escape it, and it always hits us right around this time every year, starts now and rolls right up through the end of the year. It's officially now time for us to enter Pack Your Patience season.
If you're traveling for the upcoming holiday weekend, well, you've got to pack your patience.
Yeah, everyone says it. God. Everyone thinks they're the first person to say it. They love saying it. Omar, it bothers him to his core because, as he points out every single year when this begins, you cannot do that.
Yeah,
Stop
because
saying it.
the media they go all in on a certain catchphrase. You know, when we cover bamboozled, if it's too good to be true, it probably is.
Right, they love that.
And for Memorial Day travel or Labor Day travel, it is pack your patience all the way.
Yeah, you know, the media, as Ali says, they have their phrases. Look at the size of that burrito. They love saying their phrases. And as soon as they get one good reaction or one pleasant, even if it's a fake, chuckle from they go, oh, I got a winner here.
Man,
I got to use
killed.
this. And the pack your patience is something that has now really infiltrated society, so much so that every year we almost look forward to the week leading up to Memorial Day weekend because we know we're going to get a fresh new crop of people dropping the old pack your patience and just watching Omar's face get all angry. He does hate it.
And then, Memorial Day goes straight into 4th of July, so you almost don't have time to unpack your patience before you have to pack it all over again.
And then that rolls almost into Labor Day. You're packing again, and then
you got holidays.
Then you're ready to Thanksgiving, and then it's a nonstop packing of patience.
You have to have a go bag of patience.
Just so many bags of patience on the ready. I mean, multiple suitcases. You'd have to check them, carry on.
You just have empty suitcases in your car.
That's
patience.
That's how we should escalate
Don't
this
you touch this.
to the next one, is that we have Jake go to the airport with 19 suitcases, and they said, why do you need all these? Because it's all patience.
It's patience. I've been told so many times to pack it. I don't know what I'm doing.
I have patience packed here for Labor Day, Memorial Day, 4th of July. It's all every bag's different patience.
We have to go to the airport and do that.
We got to have some stickers to handle with care, patience inside.
Fragile patience.
For people to put on all their luggage. It is the dumbest thing, yet for whatever reason, we cannot escape it. And now as we are rolling into Memorial Day 2025, we have a brand new twist on the classic. And here you go, just for Omar, because we know this will really fire him up. It's time for a new round of pre-Memorial Day Pack Your Patience.
Travel for the upcoming Memorial Day will have plenty of company out on the roads and at the airport. AAA predicting record numbers this year.
Always record numbers.
By the way,
they sound shocked every time it's a record.
Before you go back to your story, this is from last year. Listen to this.
Could be the busiest Memorial Day weekend at airports since 2005, according to AAA.
It's always
AAA's a bunch of lies.
Yeah, it's always according to AAA, and it's always a record.
Yes.
It doesn't matter what year it is, it's always a record.
But AAA can make anything a record, I think.
Of course.
The way that they're wording it, I'm sure this is their moment, right? This is how they stay relevant.
CBS 4's Zach Myers is here to share what this means if you are going to go somewhere for Memorial Day.
Yeah, it's coming up quick, and this is going to be the first time that we've seen travel numbers bouncing back from the pandemic over the last 5 years.
They love comparing it to the pandemic,
Oh,
too.
that's fine. That's this year's story. This is last year. Listen.
Highways will be crowded too, with AAA predicting 37 million people will be road tripping, a 6% increase.
They're saying since COVID, it's up again. So they love using that now as the new
new barometer.
Right.
Yeah.
If you're planning a road trip during that time, just be ready for a lot of traffic. Plan to leave early, and definitely check your route for any road construction.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's a lot of it. Expect a little bit of frustration. I won't say pack your patience, but
that's my favorite thing to say.
Oh my God!
He won't say it, but he said it.
That's my favorite thing.
Does pack your patience. But here's the thing: we know it's going to be busy every time there's a holiday weekend. So I mean, it's part of it, right?
Pack your patience. It's part
she
of
loves
it, right?
It. And by him saying he's not going to say it, but then saying it means they can't escape it.
Because it was written on his copy, obviously. And he's like, I'm not going to say pack your patience, but goddamn.
And she loves it. Of course she loves it.
Oh, there he said it.
Well, get ready. You have to
My favorite.
You have to pack extra patience just to put up with all the people telling you to pack your patience this holiday season. We take a super quick break. We're back in a moment. Omar, how mad are you now? Because that time they addressed it, but then still went with it, and the woman loves it.
Just look at the size of that burrito.
There she is.
It's a catchy phrase right there, huh? Why don't we go and use that more often?
Solo holdout on burritos.
Yeah. There's going to be 7,000 cars on the road every second. Look at the size of that burrito.
KROQ listener, your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to infiltrate one of these KROQ shows. My Chemical Romance at Dodger Stadium, July 27th. The Offspring at the Kia Forum, August 29th.
Yeah.
Incubus at Intuit Dome, October 4th. Let's go! Blink-182 at Acrisure Arena, October 5th. And Lincoln Park at Intuit Dome, September 13th.
Let's you cut me open just to watch me burn. This is what you asked for. Heavy is the crowd.
To choose your mission, you must engage at precisely 0900, 1200, 1500, or 1800 hours. That's 9 noon, 3 and 6 for civilians. Be color 20 and your mission is greenlit. Operation Choose Your Mission is now underway. This message will self-destruct in 5 seconds. Courtesy of Live Nation and the world famous.
That's another problem I've just discovered. My neck is
Hit him, Allie. Hit him.
No, it's not.
Hit him.
It's not
Hit
on my
him.
neck. It's not
He's
on my
being
neck.
a little bitch.
No, my
Oh,
neck.
God, just stop crying about it, man. Just take your lumps like a man.
Omar, shut it.
Dude, you guys have it on low. When Allie did it to me, it was all the way up, like at 40.
Okay.
You probably have it set like at 10, like a little baby.
We don't even
No,
have it.
I have it at 26.
Whoa.
Turn it up.
26. No. That's so high, Allie. I got the shock
I tested
collar.
it on myself.
My neck is too. You tested on your arm like a little pussy.
Yeah, and then I tested it on your arm, and you went,
All right, listen.
I'm crying about it already.
It's always bad.
It's always bad.
Guys, it's almost high voltage food review time on KROQ. A lot of food reviewers out there. It's the bread and butter of internet. Everyone loves finding buzzy foods. We make these buzzy foods even buzzier by shocking ourselves with the high voltage food review. I will be wearing the shock collar. I don't know why we decided to wear it on my neck, but that's where it's going to go. I just realized my neck is too fat for the current settings, so I need to. Allie, keep your finger off the button for now.
I'm not
for
even
now,
holding the remote.
You got to turn it up because he's got a fat neck, Allie.
I got to put the prongs in the back of my neck like cattle. Hold on. And ow.
You gotta
Hold on.
loosen that thing a little bit.
Today we are going to try this strawberry that is a viral. I may just choke on this. Oh, I'm strapped in.
You're literally complaining by just putting it on.
Yeah, okay.
what a bitch.
Hold on. Just shut up. Jake, you want to come in here and do the high voltage food review for the strawberry?
He's
How
not
much money are you going to pay me?
He's not the fancy one. You're the fancy one.
Everyone loves.
Oh, yeah, if you pay me that $300 you owe me, I'll do it.
Everyone loves saying, "Oh, look at the little bitch," but no one else has got a shock collar strapped around their neck like I do.
So let's before, I ain't a bitch like you, bitch boy.
All right, let me tell you something, Jake. You earned the name Shaky Jakey because you had an effing seizure and almost crapped your pants. When
you earned the name bitch boy because you're a bitch.
No one earned the name bitch boy.
Bitch boy.
All right, let's not get stuck on bitch boy. Let's
Every
think
time
about
you do it, your body moves like I've never seen anybody else's body move. It's contortions.
We're gonna have
body moving
5 buzzwords, so you can submit now on the text line what buzzwords you would like us to choose. But there's going to be 5 buzzwords, and if Klein says any of them, he will get a shock while he tries the $20 strawberry.
Now, this strawberry, if you're wondering why anyone would pay $20 for a strawberry, it's because they're probably an idiot. But Erewhon does a good job of making you feel like you are broke, and they do an even better job of giving you things that the general public makes you feel like you need in your life. Because if you've just been walking around eating regular run-of-the-mill strawberries where you get a whole container of them for $5, apparently you don't know what you're missing. These are like individually packaged. This thing comes in its own bulletproof case, it looks like. It's got a dome on it.
Yeah, and just, I know it's easy to make fun of a $19 strawberry, but if you listen to this is from a Japanese high-end fruit importer named John Kim of LEMI Farms, and it is grown at a farm called Anahai in Tojichi Prefecture, which is known as Strawberry Kingdom.
So supposedly, everything about this place, the conditions, the way they do it,
and this
process.
isn't even the most expensive fruit they sell. They have a Miyazaki mango that sells for $260.
Great. We'll strap Jake to the shock collar next week for that one.
So you're having the best of the best, and you're not even supposed to touch this thing with your bare hands until you're planning on eating it. And it has been breathing at room temperature for the last 15 to 30 minutes, which is how you're supposed to enjoy it because it brings out the aroma and sweetness.
Before I take it out of its bulletproof case and we start the high voltage food review, you guys need to send words in on the text line, words that if I accidentally say while I review the strawberry, I will be receiving the shock collar buzz, and that will usually send my body into uncontrollable convulsions.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
if you want to see what this looks like, we are streaming on YouTube right now as well, Klein Alley Show. It's the first time we've ever done a live streaming visual high voltage food review, and you can also look at the strawberry, which I'm holding up right now, and you're wondering what does a $20 strawberry looks like? From the outside, it looks, Allie, like any other strawberry. I mean, it's a big one.
Pretty good.
It looks big and plump and juicy, but that looks like every box of strawberries usually get 1 or 2 like this, and then a bunch of like runts at the bottom.
That is definitely the strawberry I look for in the box.
Right, this is a good one.
And they always put that one on the top, and then they save the disgusting ones for the bottom.
We will read the buzzwords in a moment. I need to turn my headphones off so I can't hear what they are. That way I will not be influenced. Also, just want to mention, just want to mention before we start this high voltage food review, thank you to reporter KNX who was able to intercept the shipment before they even made it to Air One.
Reporter KNX? Who's that?
Thank you for KNX reporter.
Reporter at KNX.
She's literally looking at us through the window, appalled. Thank you, Shar.
Who got us this berry. This is a very hard thing to get right now. Allie, do you want to give
I know
me...
you're just nervous.
Of course. I don't like having a shot collar on my neck.
Okay, all right. Turn his headphones to a different thing.
Hold on. The prongs are digging deep into my, back of my neck, spinal cord area.
Great.
So I just want you to know,
Thank
Allie,
you.
before you get a little heavy finger with the button. That's not a fat joke. You did it. You did it, you bitch. You bitch.
Every time
You're
you
such a
complain,
bitch.
I will turn it up. How's that?
I was not saying you're heavy. I said you have a heavy finger, and you don't need to push the thing for that. You just need to...
Fat shaming her finger.
I'm not. No, I'm not.
I didn't even do it.
Yeah, you did that time. You did.
I didn't. I
felt
just
it.
hovered
I felt
over it. Oh, my God. All
Well,
right.
That's how fat your finger is. You hovered over it. It went off.
Okay.
All right.
Keep going. I'm the one with the remote.
All right.
Okay, turn his headphones so now he can't hear us. Okay.
Tell me when you're done.
Klein,
give me
can you
thumbs
hear
up.
it? Okay.
When you're done, give me thumbs up.
All right. Thank you for all the submissions on the text line. I think the buzzwords that we're going to go with are juicy, sweet, fruity, and then just some of the words that I know he's going to resort to. Wow. And we're just going to go with good because let's face it, in the Turtle Reading Group, you don't have the best vocabulary. All right. We can turn his headphones back to the show. Klein, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hello. Okay.
It took a long time. That was just 5 words?
Yeah, it was 5 words.
All right.
Didn't
Now you're
take a long
complaining
time
about the
at
length
all.
of-
What? Hit him again, Allie.
Oh my God, you are the most critical person I know. I swear to God, I'm going to get so much joy out of this.
Before you hit the button again, please do not. Please do not. Can you put the remote down while I just say this thing?
No.
And then we'll do it. Please do not hit.
Now you're making this take long.
I just want to say,
I want Jake to take over control. I don't think he'd be as nice as Allie.
I think it's interesting, Allie.
I am being nice.
Please
Yeah,
don't hit
you're
it.
being too nice.
I'm saying a nice thing to you. I love you. I think it's interesting.
Hit him, Allie.
Do not. God damn it. Allie, I just want to say something. The reason this show is so effed up is that this...
Effed up! Hit him, Allie!
No, I didn't say anything. Is because this strawberry...
hit him, Allie!
This strawberry is supposed to be like, for people, the greatest moment of their day. Like, to try it is a whole journey, and the $20... We have made it a unlikable thing now. You were going to probably...
Thank you for explaining the bit.
Great.
Can we just get into it now?
Hell? What was that?
It's time
Take
for...
it out.
No,
Okay,
do not hit me. Do not hit me. We got to play The Offspring, and then we'll have to do the high voltage.
Oh my God.
We got it. We're way behind.
We are not. We're
All right.
fine.
All right, fine. Here we go. We're just going to get it done with.
Let's do it. All right, let the review begin. You know the buzzwords. Listen along. Every time I hear one, I will give Klein a shock. And this is Klein trying the viral $19 strawberry that is imported from Japan and currently on sale. Not on sale, but for sale at Erewhon.
Definitely not on sale. Good evening and welcome to the High Voltage Food Review here at KROQ, where we have the ability to try delicious and potentially good foods. Ah! Shoot! Drop the goddamn straw.
You almost dropped the spoon.
I caught it in my hand, even though I'm not supposed to touch it. All right, I won't say that word again.
What are you smelling?
The berry is, so far, just taking it out of the container. It is a very floral, almost fruity. Smell. But it does smell like other similar fruits. Picture yourself in prison right now, and maybe that's not that hard to picture because perhaps you've been there before, or maybe you're just in jail for the night, the drunk tank, or at least the back of a cop car. And if you were to spend a considerable amount of time behind bars, how would you survive that time in there? Would you be one of these people that goes in weak, gets really strong, just starts getting super jacked? And
Well, that is
leaves
a
there?
nice defense mechanism.
Great way
I'll
to
just
learn.
be alone and have one like spotter, and then just get jacked so people don't f with me. That is a vibe.
I thought of trying to open a chain of gyms called The Yard And the concept was, the whole vibe was like it was the yard of a prison, but that's where you could do your working out.
Dude, I bet that would do great in WeHo.
But also you'd have like big guys walking around that would threaten you if you didn't lift weights, like really forcing you to lift. I just thought that would be good.
You're just trying to find a gym that you won't quit.
Yeah, a guy like me that needs motivation like that. I need like a 400-pound dude who's threatening to like, do things to me if I don't lift some weights.
But I think with the idea of Diddy going to prison, a lot of high-profile celebrities have gone to prison recently, and also the possible release of the Menendez brothers. Everyone thinks, well, what if I were to spend 20 years in prison? What would I be like?
Also, did you see the Prison Break video from over the weekend?
No.
These guys ripped a urinal out of the wall, and they believe it could have been a partially inside job because they think that no way they could have done that with bare hands. There had to have been power tools somehow involved, and they can't figure it out. But they literally ripped an entire urinal off the wall, creating a giant hole in the wall, and about 11 guys escaped the prison. Ran right out.
They're still at large?
So I don't know if they caught any of them yet, to be honest. I saw the video. I was like, wow, that's so cool.
Whoa.
Them running out is like us on a Friday leaving the studio.
So it was like a pretty big enough hole for them all to just make a run for it?
8 guys got out. Yeah, it was a crazy story. Whoa. I mean, the video is worth it. Anyway, so we decided, let's figure out how we would do, and you're more than welcome to play along with us. How would you do? It's a basic quiz on how you would survive in prison. Then at the end, we're going to plug this all in, and we will figure out what type of prisoner we would be and how long we would survive. Some of us may not make it tonight. Others, we could be lifers. We go to this first question. These are a lot of hypotheticals. We're not all going to... Everyone write down your answers to these because we got to put them in the system, but you don't have to all answer them on the air. Allie, we'll give you this one first, okay? A prisoner is in a known gang, and they approach you, and they need you to smuggle drugs in your butt to show that you are cool.
Man.
That you're cool.
Do I know what kind of drugs?
You do not.
Man.
They give you a pretty large envelope.
I have to put an envelope in my ass?
Do you accept the challenge?
That's so painful.
Do you say not for me?
Dude, I think I would have to show them that I'm cool.
So you do it?
Yeah. I don't know if I would be able to get around that. And I would be so paranoid that the balloon would explode in my butt and kill me, but I'd have to do it.
Omar, you do this?
No. You can't do that because that's a sign of that you're a pushover. It shows a sign of weakness.
Yeah, I agree.
You don't let that because then you're going to be the butt smuggler guy for the rest of your time in prison.
I'm fine. As long as I'm comfortable, I'll be butt smuggler.
I'm kind of with Omar. I actually don't even think there are drugs. I think they're using that as a way to see your butt, see what they're working with.
Oh, like, can you fit this in there? What about this? What about these whippets?
If this guy can handle 9 kilos of blow, he could definitely handle Ron over there. Yeah, I don't know. I'm with Omar. I say...
Yeah, but what if they beat the crap out of you and then you're against that gang and they are out to get you?
It's like Omar said, you cannot just be a pushover for the first time they come up to you and say, put this in your butt.
Look, okay. I will do anything to have friends.
Yeah, I know. By the way, Allie would do that same thing on the outside.
I smuggled some drugs in my butt.
Forget about prison. Allie brings in her mail like that from the post office.
Am I cool now?
All right, question 2. You will have to get a tattoo on your face because everyone is doing it on your cell block. You get to pick the tattoo. What do you put on your face? Allie, tattoo goes on the face. You'll have it for life.
Oof, God, I would have it for life. Now I have to think about, can I do something like on my ear or neck? It has to be on my face.
On the face.
Okay, I think then I should just do basic teardrop.
1.
Yeah, because I think that means you can't F with me because maybe I killed someone. But then if I get out, maybe it'll just seem like I'm crying all the time.
That's good. I like that.
And they'll just think I'm an emotional woman.
Omar,
and I think it'd be the easiest to get removed after.
Omar, you have to get a tattoo on your face. Everyone's doing it on the cell block. You have to do it. You're not getting out of it. So what do you get?
I think I do a replica tattoo of the Mike Tyson face tattoo.
Oh, that's cool.
Because I think that says a little crazy and a little funny.
Right. I don't know if this guy's funny or crazy.
Yeah.
Let's let him hang.
You can do like the dotted line that's like, cut here. He's so funny.
Jake, which tattoo do you go with on your face?
You do like bad mother effer in all caps across the forehead.
You'd have to probably you probably have to use just the first initial of each.
Nope.
You would just do bad.
This guy really close to read.
What does that say? Hold on, let me get on my readers.
Come over my forehead. Get closer.
Really bad mother effer. No, seriously. If you're reading this, step away. You're too close.
I know topography.
What font you going with for that, Jay? Courier New or something?
Malaga.
All right, smart. I think that the answer to this question is simple. You have to go the permanent makeup.
Oh, like you would just get your eyes, your eyebrows?
Yeah, mascara and stuff.
Why are you just trying to look feminine? You don't want that. You're going to be more attractive to the other inmates.
It's going to be perfect with his butt-on-butt gym idea that he just pitched earlier.
It wasn't a butt-on-butt gym idea. That's you made it.
What if it's like a prison yard where there's a bunch of really jacked guys around?
Mine was a straight,
and then I'll have my eyebrows done.
Yeah, mine's a straight prison yard.
Right.
Permanent makeup is the best one because on the way out...
If you get permanent makeup done and everyone's getting a face tattoo, you are the guy who's getting rammed by all those guys.
We don't know that yet. But that does lead into our next question. You are in the showers with only one other prisoner by the nickname of Tommy Horstong. And he winks at you. What do you do
Who put
next?
this quiz together?
This is a scientific quiz. How would we survive in prison? Tommy Horstong winks at you. What do you do next? Jake, you can go first this time.
I say you chuck your soap right out of his head.
Throw yourself in his head?
Wow, you're going to start a fight with Tommy Lomdong?
Horstong.
Instantly.
All right. That's interesting, Jake. Allie, what do you do?
I would wink, but then run.
Wink and run.
Yeah.
So you wink back.
Yeah, because I don't want to start any trouble. I don't want to get in a fight, but I'd be like, oh, no, I got to run. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. All right. Omar, you're in the shower. It's just you and prisoner by the name of Tommy Horstong. He winks at you. What do you do next?
I just have to tell him it's not going to happen, dude, and just continue to shower.
Or you could use a different person as bait. Like, if you like me, look
There
who
is no
else you'll
other
like.
person.
This guy with eyebrows.
Right. I'm not of that. I'm getting tattooed.
Chuck soap.
I think you flirt back.
What?
But you flirt back by doing like the thing with
Klein, you're going to be very popular in prison.
No, you guys aren't hearing me right. You flirt back, but you do this like you do bad flirting. You go, like you do your teeth. You show a lot of teeth.
What?
See, that would scare him off.
Videos are you watching?
I'm just you want him to think if he thinks
You
you
think
don't.
just chomping at people is flirting?
Yeah, no. I'm saying, Allie, if you think that Tommy Horstong is giving you the eye in prison, and your choice is
Oh, you're saying I'm going to bite it off?
no, you're saying you want him. If he doesn't think you want it, he wants you even more. If he thinks you're into it, you know, it's like that whole game you play
so
with
if
people.
you're that game is not going to work on you, my friend.
Well, I'm working on it.
I'm actually don't want this. I was trying to drop hints of the opposite.
Let's go the opposite. All right, Vanessa, you can answer that one as well. What do you do? Go ahead.
I don't know. I would be like a crazy woman. I would pretend to be crazy
Oh,
while
that's
showering.
such a good idea.
Like, how would that sound?
I just like make noises and faces, and they're gonna be like, "What?
Yeah.
No, thank you."
That's a great idea.
Your
Pretend to be crazy.
mic cut out. What were you doing?
Wow.
And they're like, oh, it's not worth it.
I'm
Just
making
move on to the
faces.
next.
And I'm
And
jumping
chomp your
around.
teeth.
If you
And
end
they
up if you end up in prison, and by the way, many people are. In fact, a lot of people on the text line are saying that they have been in prison, and that everything we've said so far, all of these questions, is completely wrong. You need to have a prison skill. What would be your prison skill, Jake the Nerd?
I think I am the guy who makes shivs.
You make shivs.
Yep.
So you make the sharpest shivs there are.
Yeah.
People give you a
Because you
toothbrush.
want the sharpest shiv
You
in
want a
the
shiv.
whole prison.
Jake gives you
I
shivs.
feel like he would do that the same way he does like art for us. Where we're like, will
God.
you make this? And it's just like a crappy hand drawn thing with
Yeah.
like permanent marker, and he's like, here, and
you
then
go.
walks away.
I drew a
And you're
shiv.
like, this broke in 5 seconds.
It's a cartoon of a
All you
shiv.
need is 1 second for a shiv.
Omar, what's your skill?
I think my skill, I'm a pretty organized guy. I think my skill would be to keep track of all the cigarettes. And as you know, that guy owes you a cigarette or whatever, I could, keep track for, the sub block or whatever, because that's how they use the currency.
Allie?
I think my prison skill would be loyalty. I would find one person who's in power, and I would be their right-hand woman. I would do whatever they wanted. I would figure out ways to make their plan happen.
So you find the big boss in the lady prison.
Yeah, and then I become invaluable. I become their right-hand woman. Because that's how you stay alive. You're like, oh, you can't kill her because then the boss will get so mad. You just have to protect yourself.
Johnny, what's your skill? Oh, hold on. We got someone who's an ex-con on the phone. We'll talk to him. Smiley is going to tell us how badly we're doing on this quiz. Johnny, what would be your prison skill, out of curiosity? Closed mouths don't eat, or whatever you say?
Oh, no, I'm probably going to be a little bitch in prison. Like, I'd probably get you know what, by like everybody.
Yeah,
Right.
I think he'd be fine with it too.
Yeah,
I'd be all right.
Oh my god!
As long as
I think you would try vibes for like a week, and then that wouldn't work, and he'd
I'd
just be
chilling.
I could see them saying to Johnny, you could do the library books at the library card. Johnny's like, nah, man, I don't want books. I'll just
bend over.
I don't read these books,
Oh,
man.
there's so many letters.
Hey, Smiley.
Yeah.
Hey, how much time did you spend incarcerated?
About 11 years in and out of prison.
All right, are any
But,
of-
Klein, I want to know what kind of crime is going to get you. Are you going to do to get you in prison?
All right, well,
Let's
that's
see what kind of
great.
question-
It's funny you asked that, Smiley. We're about to get to that. That's the next question on the quiz. What do you believe is the crime that you're most likely to go to prison for? Hold on, Smiley. Hang tight. We may go back to you for some expert opinion. Allie, what is the crime of all the crimes you have or will commit that could send you into prison?
So it'll either be tax fraud or I accidentally killed someone with my car.
Yeah.
Those are going to be the two.
Involuntary manslaughter.
Yeah, I killed somebody or like a whole family because I just wasn't paying attention.
And Allie was trying to save 11 cents on her taxes and committed tax fraud as well.
Yeah.
All
Which,
right.
I mean, I think the crime that you go into prison for, it's very important because if you're in prison for like killing a kid or something, don't they?
Yeah, you're not like. Yeah, I mean, we'll ask Smiley for that. Smiley, right? What were you in for? Don't say killing a kid. Don't say killing a kid.
Well, mostly drugs.
Okay,
the
cool.
basic deal was drugs.
Right,
But she
but-
said she's going to go to jail for killing somebody or a whole family. Is that what you said?
Involuntary, she believes.
I
Allie,
accidentally killed someone.
with her car, bad driver.
That'd be terrible. Terrible.
Yeah, you would. But in a lady prison, I would imagine everyone's in there for bad driving, right?
Oh, absolutely. Bad driving.
Yeah, I would imagine they're all like, "What
the
are you
whole
in here
C
for?"
block.
Yeah, involuntary.
I also killed someone and hit a mailbox.
Involuntary mailbox murder yet again. All right, Jake, what are you going to prison for?
I think it's obvious that I'll be going to prison for selling counterfeit Magic the Gathering cards.
So counterfeiting.
I think you should just not tell anybody what you're in for then.
Yeah, that's pretty embarrassing. Omar, what would you go in for?
It would probably definitely be drugs.
Yeah.
For sure.
That
yeah.
fits for you.
Yep.
I also feel like, Jake, you could probably be an actual card player. Like, those guys out in the yard do really well, don't they?
Well, Jake would be a real hit when he showed up and they're all playing spades or something, and Jake shows up there and he goes, "I've got dragon uterus, so I play this dragon uterus card."
It's not, it doesn't exist.
Well, whatever it is.
I would hit him, but it says bad mother effer on his forehead.
I don't know. What do you guys want to do with this guy?
See, they can read it.
All right. I think for me, it would be something gambling related. Like I was running an illegal book, or I was into a gambler for a lot of money, or a bookie or some sort of that. I think that would probably be the reason that I would be in there. I mean, I know a guy that was running a book that's spending a lot of time in bars, behind bars right now.
Huh.
So I think gambling would be my crime.
Really?
Probably.
Or maybe embezzling money or, because of your other little business?
Which other business?
Pipeline? Maybe you took
That's a
people's
real-
money
that's
and
a
it's
real-
like Theranos.
Oh God, I wish I was that smart.
And then you
All right.
took all their millions of dollars but never did anything.
We've answered a million. God, I wish. If anyone would like to invest. In a moment, Ali's going to tabulate all of our score. Oh, there's one final question here, and then we'll determine what type of prisoner we would be and how long we would actually last behind bars. This is the final question. An officer has decided that he likes you. And he doesn't like, an officer has decided he doesn't like you and is going out of his way to make your life a living hell.
Ooh.
He is one of the authorities in there. What do you do, Ali? This is the last question, and we'll determine how well we would survive.
I think I'd have to bribe him. By then, I think I'd be connected enough, and I would be, the right-hand woman to the boss, so I would be able to get drugs or women or whatever this officer wants, so I would be able to bribe the relationship into being good again.
Omar, officer doesn't like you, decides he's going to make your life behind bars a living hell. Like the guy in the Green Mile, the a-hole
yeah.
cop.
Man, that's a tough one because you don't want to go after him violently because then he's going to be on you even more.
And he can throw you in the hole.
I'm gonna have to find out what this guy's into and hook him up. Whether it be a lady or drugs, whatever. I got to figure it out exactly. Yeah, along the same lines as Allie.
Or you could just have him killed.
No, I think what I would do is I would find his resume, I would send it out and get him.
Find his
get
resume
him a
again.
better
The
job.
gayest answer.
I would get him a better
I
job.
would work
offer.
on his resume with him.
Yeah, and then I would get him hired elsewhere. Not my
Let's
problem.
get your special
All
skills.
right, we're going to find out how well we would do. Smiley, stay on the phone. We'll come back with the results next, Kara. show. If you're a drummer looking for a job, maybe that band will hire you. Foo Fighters announced, so I guess they didn't announce it, but Josh Freese announced that they said, we don't want you anymore. We're going in a different direction, and as a result, we don't know who will be drumming for that band next, but they did announce their big comeback starting in Singapore. That'll be the first Foo Fighters show. Dave Grohl spotted over the weekend at Cruel World, apparently. So this guy's getting back in the scene, and who knew we'd have just as much drama with the Foo Fighters as we would music.
No, maybe he's scouting for a new drummer.
So we got these quiz results to get to in a moment, how well we would do in prison. A lot of people looking at the prison escape video from over the weekend, a lot of talk about A.D.D, prison, etc. There's another prisoner, ex-con, Twilight?
Yes.
That would be my name, I think, behind bars as well. How long were you in there for?
I went 7 times between 4-year period.
Oh, wow.
Why?
That's cool.
Mostly drugs.
Got it. That's fair. And you wanted to correct something we said that's wrong?
Oh, are you in a police chase?
Let her go. She's escaping.
Actually, women mostly went to prison. They were mostly in there for killing their husbands.
Oh. Okay, well, I take back...
Yeah.
It was just in the driveway, just getting out the lawnmower.
Oh, no. That was another husband.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's tons of old ladies in there, and they all killed their husbands.
Any of them accidental or all on purpose?
They were mostly abused women that
self-defense.
got tired of being abused, and they off their husbands.
Twilight, after hearing our answers to these questions, which one of us do you think would survive the least amount of time behind bars?
Well, definitely not Allie.
Yeah.
I think Omar would.
Yeah, Omar would probably do the best, I think.
Thank you.
I have no doubt about that.
Yeah.
All right, Allie, let's get the results now. We all took the quiz. Allie's added all the information together, and we will figure out which one of us, what type of prisoner we would be, and how long we would last.
So let's start with Omar. Omar, you were classified as the savvy bully. You exhibit traits of a savvy bully personality type, and this type often seeks to gain power and control over others through shady tactics and covert manipulation. You tend to lack concern for others and are willing to use intimidation to get what you want.
Bullying, it works.
And you would last 5 to 10 years because you'd probably be able to get yourself out early, even though you'd be sentenced to like 20.
Cool. Oh, man, that's awesome. I wish I was doing that.
Klein, you got the manipulative butt boy.
Oh,
you exemplify the traits of someone who navigates life with cunning and cunnilingus.
I don't want to do either of those things.
While you seek to maintain harmony and avoid conflict, your inclination for butt sex manipulates the situation for personal...
Hey, Omar, let's trade. I don't want to be that.
I'm good. I don't want the inclination for
you
butt
ride
stuff.
a delicate balance between societal acceptance and self-interest.
Fancy butt.
I don't want to go. I got to stay. I don't want to go there now.
You would probably get killed in prison.
Great. Take me out of my misery, please.
I am the sheep personality all the way. I exhibit traits of I prioritize group approval and can feel lost or unsure without strong direction.
Yeah, that's why you need to latch on to someone else.
This makes you susceptible to peer pressure, and you might struggle with confidence when confronting authority, but your ability to mediate disputes shows you have a caring side that seeks harmony.
A Karen side, you bet you do. I'd like to complain to the manager of this prison.
And that the first year would be hard for me, but then I would fall in line and I would easily do like a 20-year stretch with ease because I would just kind of adopt into the. And then Jake, you got loner weirdo. Jake, you don't
like on the outside. It's like that's his life every day. He doesn't need jail for that.
You don't conform to a group because you are a group. While people might go to you for the occasional favor, people tend to avoid you like the plague.
That's what you do with that forehead.
That's it happens in the outside world too. Just start talking about your weird bands you're into. All right, Smiley. Now that you've heard all of our answers and how we've all been classified, which one of us would you most want to be cellmates with?
Definitely Klein.
Okay. No!
That's sweet.
Alley Show! Mornings on KROQ 106.7 KROQ.
All right, give it a try.
It's like burning in the back of my neck now.
Okay.
I will take my first bite now of the viral $20 straw.
All right, he's taking his first bite. Oh, there's a lot of slobber there. That seemed like a little too much moisture. Thoughts?
It is a delicious journey
What? Delicious journey.
Flavors.
It just started.
And I will. And it is very, very.
What does it taste like?
It's juicy on the inside. Fun.
All right.
God damn it.
What are you tasting? What are some of the flavors? What makes it different than other strawberries, Klein?
It's got. Let me tell you something right now. 'Cause I know what I can't say. It is like think of a. It's yummy.
Okay.
But also delicate. Delicate to the taste. So much so that it almost tastes like there are like 1,000 little strawberries that are dancing. Can't do the word off the thing. and it's got to be over a minute, guys.
No, it doesn't start till your first bite, so you have a couple seconds
I've had a lot
left.
more bites.
Okay.
Anyway, thank you.
Official review?
Worth $20? Absolutely not. Is it sweet and nice? Sure. Is it juicy? Yeah, it's a little juicy.
All right.
You missed a word, Allie.
I did?
Yep.
What did he say that I missed?
He said sweet.
Damn it.
Thank you, Jake.
Goodbye. Stupid. That's
All
it.
right, now you can play the offspring.
And let me say something right. God, can't get the stupid thing off my fat neck.
Oh.
Hit him again, fat neck.
No, do not. Do not. Stuck in this.
You can't get it off.
Damn it. All right, that's a lot. That's a lot of hype for nothing.
All
I mean,
right.
it's great. It's tasty. Thank you.
Really? You think it's a lot of hype for nothing? Is it the best strawberry you've ever had? Come on. Now that you have the collar off, be real.
The best strawberry I ever had has to be smothered in chocolate or whipped cream or powdered
putting a
sugar.
daiquiri or something. Really?
Yeah, or daiquiri. Is it a sweet strawberry? Yeah, sure. If I got this in a fruit salad, would I stop eating the salad and go, whoa, what the hell? Where'd that come from?
Right.
That must be from Kyoto, Japan. And I'll tell you one thing. I didn't really enjoy it when I was getting electricity shot through my body.
You got a lot of it in your teeth.
Do I really?
Yeah.
Huh? That's good. So I'm going to keep that there forever. That's very expensive.
That's worth $1.
This has been your high voltage food review on KROQ. Klein Alley Show. If you're looking for a mission that you would definitely want to accept, apologize for all the background noise you're hearing here. They've got multiple fans on here trying to cool us off because, once again, someone ain't paying the utility bills at KROQ. And as a result, we've got box fans and box fans and box fans to try to keep us under triple digits inside the KROQ studios. But here we are, sweating it out for your amusement. That's our Mission Impossible. Your mission, should you choose to accept it in about 5 minutes, will give you the choice of which band you'd like to see. From Blink-182 to My Chem to The Offspring, there are so many shows happening. We get you into your choice, and that'll be in about 5 minutes right here on KROQ. But first, your news.
Grab your Adderall. It's time for A.D.D. News.
So we're learning more about the guy who car bombed the IVF clinic in Palm Springs. Thankfully, there were only 4 injuries. None of the embryos were destroyed, which is amazing considering half the building was bombed. And the only person who died was the bomber himself. He was 25 years old. His name was Guy Bartkus. And his father is doing interviews. He said as a teen, Bartkus developed a fascination with smoke bombs and model rockets, in addition to setting his family home on fire and burning it down at the age of 9. And apparently he was, and this is what makes me feel bad about the quiz we just did, he was a known follower. He had no sense of actual identity.
Oh, like
so
you.
He was easily influenced by other people.
Allie's the sheep of the prison.
And he was not pro-life, but anti. So he felt like places like fertility clinics were creating lives that the life that gets created didn't choose to be created, I guess. So it's manufactured life rather than like God deciding, hey, this person should be pregnant. So that was kind of his mentality. You're basically in a lab creating life.
Right, but by that stupid rationale, then if you think about it, any doctor who's ever helped anyone who is sick with any cause at all, and they use modern medicine to try to help someone, then technically all of them are evil because none of them are allowing, quote, God's way to take control and let the cancer ravage your body or whatever.
You can think of it, even a headache. Oh, I shouldn't take anything because that's not, any science or scientific way that you're solving a problem.
But you can't talk sense into nuts, Allie. That's what I've learned. If they're nuts and they're going to blow up their car to try to prove a point, they're already far gone. There's no talking sense to those people.
Yeah, and I'm also surprised, like car bomb, I feel like you never hear about anymore.
No.
Like that was a huge thing in Ireland back in the day, but I haven't heard a significant story of a car bombing in forever. All right, Sesame Street has been a household name for many years, but since the death of cable TV, it was in need of a new home. And at first, that home was HBO Max. It was a very good contract, lasted a while, but then it expired and they did not renew, so Sesame Street was homeless yet again. Last week, there was a viral LinkedIn post from Elmo saying that he'd been laid off and was looking for work. But now the street has been adopted by a new competitor who has billions to spend on Elmo and Big Bird, and that is Netflix. Netflix will now carry the whole Sesame Street catalog, and I would love to see a Sesame Street-style Squid Games.
They will not. They will protect that because that is their, they're smart at Netflix, and they've learned with the Coco Melon success that if they can just get the kids in there.
That's why they bought Miss Rachel, too.
Right. Parents will leave the TV on for hours. There's a little free babysitting, and might as well leave it on Netflix, and then that's why those are the biggest shows they have. All their kid shows are doing way better than any of their adult shows.
And the best feature with Netflix, as opposed to like Disney Plus and some of the other apps, is that Netflix will just continue playing the next episode. It's just like
never stops.
And it's the smallest amount of time. It's like 876, boom, next episode.
You can watch Sesame Street for free on PBS Kids.
Okay, fine, but you're not. Thank you, Jake. But
why do you know that?
But they're not fun. Jake's a big fan.
Because it's made by PBS. So it didn't make any sense that if you didn't have cable, you couldn't watch Sesame Street.
I never said you couldn't watch it if you didn't have cable.
But
I'm just saying people don't watch. No, I just said people don't watch cable anymore.
And also,
it's not cable; it's PBS.
Right. They're also
I'm just
cutting
saying
the
nobody
funding.
watches TV. Like everyone's cut the cord.
Netflix is TV.
Yeah, but I'm talking about cord cutting, Jake.
And that's what I'm saying, is that you can watch it on PBS Kids online.
Who is watching PBS Kids other than you?
Apparently
Kids.
Jake is.
Oh, my God.
Jake loves
Why are
PBS
we
Kids online.
Is this the fight you want to pick?
I'm trying to let parents know they don't have to subscribe to whatever.
Jake, who
watch it for free on PBS Kids.
Jake, who has no kids, no intention of having kids, will never have a kid, is very concerned about
where we're watching Sesame Street.
It's a good show!
Okay.
Jake just relates with Oscar the Grouch. That's what it is.
Because I live in a trash can.
That's true. All right, tipping has gotten so out of control here in the U.S. that it is now spreading to other countries. The U.K., which is a country known for the no-tip culture, is now being asked to tip more and more on services. And even if they do tip for something, it's not a large amount. Usually if you're tipping on like a cab ride or something like that, you give them like an extra buck maybe. But now the average that people are tipping has gone from a base of 10% to upwards of 15%. So they're getting now close to America's numbers for the average tip left on services. And that's bad news for the whole world.
Yeah, welcome, world. We've been dealing with this for a while
That was our one defense mechanism. It's like, well, they don't do it in Europe and everyone's fine.
Right. That was the nice part. If you ever travel internationally, you'd be like, oh, no one's expecting a tip. Great.
I know.
Now they've all realized, hey, these Americans are suckers. They're just punching on those screens left and right. Tip,
They're
tip,
like,
tip.
we have to do happy face.
So here we go. We're at it. Now let's tip you with the ultimate mission, the mission of tickets to a show of your choice. Caller 20. Now's your chance to shine. 800-520-1067. Here we go.
Klein Alley Show. 106.7 KROQ FM in HD Pasadena, Los Angeles, Orange County. This is the world famous K-Rock.
All right. Here is your mission, should you choose to accept it. It's a choose your mission all week long on K-Rock, 9, noon, 3, and 6. And here are the following missions you can choose from. I don't want to repeat this, so I know you're trying to call now, you want to win. You hear free stuff, you just start calling. But I hope you get this right, because if you do not deliver me one of these missions when I pick up your call, we're going to have to move on to someone who's been paying attention. Caller 20, how would you like to see my camp? Or perhaps for your mission, you'd like to go to Lincoln Park. Maybe it's Incubus, or Blink-182, or The Offspring. The mission will be yours if you choose to accept it right now at 800-520-1067. We'll grab caller 20 in a moment. If you're new to the show, pleasure to meet you. My name is Klein. That is Allie.
Morning.
You got DJ Omar Khan there,
Hello.
the audio sniper. That man in the back, PBS. Online fan, Jake Z Nerd.
Better believe it.
Guy loves it. In the back room, taking
National
the calls.
treasure.
As we are speaking is Postmaster Johnny and Vanessa.
Well, and this also happened because of
The budget cuts.
Yes, the budget cuts.
Right.
So
They needed
Trump
to-
was cutting funding to PBS
Right.
and some of the other kind of NPR and things like that because they're just spreading a woke agenda. So that got a lot of people freaked out. And then the Sesame Street thing is part of that as well.
So Netflix says, hey, we got a unlimited supply of funds. We'll just buy you over here.
Yeah. And everyone will watch it.
Let's say hi to caller 20, which puts us in Whittier. Good morning. Is this Gabby?
This is. Good morning, sweet divots, guys.
Sweet divots to
divots.
you. You're caller 20. What mission do you choose to accept?
That Blink-182 mission.
All right. You're on. Congratulations. You're on that mission.
Oh, thank you so much.
All you need to do now is go to the
Thank you for
show
my husband.
and wear your rock pants and don't miss any songs. And hold on one second. You can choose your mission all week long on K-Rock. And you'll have another chance coming up at noon with the great Nicole Alvarez. All right. We get into a brand new hour of the show right now. Lots and lots to get to. Also, I think a listener showed up at the station with a present for us, which will end up being a torture device for us.
A Monday present?
Yeah, we'll get into that after this. Could really change the course of our entire day next on K-Rock. If you need us, 800-520-1067. I think if you are a parent, you have certain things you have to do. And one of those things is the talk. When the kid gets to a certain age, you want to make sure that they don't end up impregnating anyone or get themselves pregnant.
Oh, I never had that.
We never had the talk. Neither of our parents gave us the talk. So here we are messed up as adults because we were never given the talk. But I think that the things you're supposed to teach kids, in order of importance, I think is how to tie their shoes and
wipe your own ass.
Wipe your own ass. Don't you figure that out on your own, or does someone to teach you that?
I don't know. I don't think my kid has any idea how to go about doing
Huh.
that.
Well, it runs in the family.
I know how to wipe my ass.
Oh, you do? I'll pull that clip.
No, you don't wash your hands.
That's right.
That's right.
You only know step one of the process, a two-part process. But the teaching the kid to ride a bike, I think, is a time-tested job of a parent to do at some point. You're supposed to say, hey, here's how you ride a bike. Now, I do know how to ride a bike.
But to teach someone to ride a bike is a whole different thing.
And my kids are now at a point where my wife's like, I can't believe they don't know how to ride bikes. You never taught them like that.
Yeah, your older one doesn't know how to ride a bike by now?
never taught him.
Ooh, damn.
Well,
that's
because
old. She's 8, right?
I tried at one point, and she fell, and she said, I don't want to do it. Put the training wheels back on. And I put them back on.
Oh, wow.
And then once you get on those training wheels...
So she's
you didn't teach her how to persevere? Like overcome it?
Nope.
What the heck are you doing over
there? I quit, and you're like, great.
Great. I got these training wheels. I paid extra for them. Let's put them back on.
Not to buy no more bike stuff.
Finally, yesterday was the day that I said, let's go. We're getting the
Did
bike.
they show initiative for that, or you just said...
They didn't want to do it. And in fact, I was reading some stuff online. It's like, how do you teach someone to ride a bike? I even ChatGPT'd it as well. And they said the first thing is they have to actually want to do it. If they don't want to do it or don't want to learn to do it,
I think that's overrated.
You can't force it on them. And I was like, I'm forcing it on you.
It's the same with swimming. Like, you have to learn. So
Right.
it's going to happen. Whether you want to do it or not, you have to learn how to swim and you have to learn how to ride a bike.
But swimming is potentially a life-saving skill you're doing. And riding a bike is really just kind of one of those. I'm not a bike riding guy. We don't do bike riding excursions.
My father-in-law doesn't know how to ride a bike or swim.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And he's a grown-ass man.
Right, my mom does not know how to swim.
Yeah.
But
I think back then it was like optional. It was like not even optional. It was like a privilege to take a swim class and learn.
I don't think my mom was allowed because it was like a men-only pool or something like that. But whatever it was, she still to this day now, as a grown-ass woman, doesn't know how to swim. And I always found that growing up and I actually don't think she knows how to ride a bike either.
Yeah. And then you wonder, like, you had kids. You were growing up with kids. They went swimming. And to think that you were at a pool and you couldn't save your child if something happened.
I remember one time I was
Yeah.
I was drowning and my mom was yelling, "Someone save my son!"
Really?
Yeah. And some other guy went over and she's like, "Why didn't you get in?" And I was like, "She just got a manicure or something."
But I think also another family member sometimes steps up in these situations. Like my uncle taught me how to ride a bike. I don't remember learning from any of my parents. And there's someone who's just like the person who's good for that.
I'd be better at teaching someone how to steal a bike.
Yeah.
But ride a bike is
And
tricky.
then you spray paint it. Get real close.
Because the stakes are high. If you don't teach them the right way, they potentially tip over and smash their face, even if you throw a helmet on them or whatever else.
They find ways to get
That's going to happen no matter what.
Yeah.
Dude.
Right.
You just got to accept that.
And I seem to remember, I don't remember much, but I seem to remember when I was growing up, a lot of times I would have like ripped up knees, ripped up legs, torn up, bloody. And I think that's just part of the learning process.
Oh, yeah. You think if I fell on my bike as an adult? Well, I fell way more as a kid.
So I brought him over to a field because I said I'm going to teach him in a field.
On grass?
Yes.
Yeah,
because
that's not a good plan.
That's a terrible plan.
Thank you. A few people criticized my plan, including the people that were trying to play soccer in the field. That didn't like the plan. But they didn't like the plan. And then there was another dad that was doing a much better job of teaching his kid to ride a bike on the on the pavement.
Yes.
And I was listening to what that dad was saying and trying to steal the information to deliver to my kids because he was saying good stuff. Because I was like, the most important thing is that you want this. And he's like, the most important thing is you just keep pedaling. And I was like, the most important thing is you keep pedaling. Like I was listening to his tips and I was trying to deliver them over to I was kind of running a bogus operation. Meanwhile, his kid was like 3 and pedaling like crazy, like not tipping over at all. My kid's, as soon as I let go of the bike, plopped over like you did, Allie, when you rode the bike and crashed.
No, I only fell over on my bike because there was a man that all of a sudden was there. And I accidentally pressed on the front brake, which is a really powerful brake.
If you're new to the show, it's worth to play this just because it always makes me laugh. But
it's on our Instagram highlights.
Oh, it is? Well, great. But for those people that aren't going to spend the time looking for it, this was Allie. In fact, we turned a lot of these into great songs, but this was Allie when she fell off her bike because she saw a man.
Say hi.
That was a real audio of Allie waving to the camera and then smashing and then falling off her bike.
I was also recording a selfie video while that happened, so I wouldn't recommend that while you're on a moving bike.
But it did lead to some great songs. Like
Here we are on the Embarcadero, first bike ride. Say hi. Hi. Yeah, I am.
That's the unedited version. Yeah, I am. That's,
All right.
Yes.
that's the. I forgot about how great it is when she comes up to you and you fell off your bike.
Trying to grunt my way up.
All right.
Yes.
I saw a guy freaked out.
Here we are on the Embarcadero. First bike ride. Say hi.
That really is a slow ride. So anyway, I taught and I taught and I taught, and minutes became hours.
You shouldn't have taught him. They would have had great viral videos, obviously.
I know, I should have done it. And then finally...
What was your method of teaching him? Because there is one way that's...
Well, I saw something on TikTok about use a towel, wrap them in a towel or something.
Wrap them in a towel?
What
that
are you
makes
doing?
it so much harder.
What?
You get a kitten burrito towel?
I saw a bunch of different
Figure
methods.
it out. E.T. style.
And then I was like, I'll just put them on a hill, and then gravity will like take over, and they'll have to pedal because your body.
So you were doing it downhill?
I tried a few different methods. They all failed, and then
Yeah, but they have to learn how to pedal. They don't have to pedal when they're going downhill, and they can't control their speed.
Yes, I learned all that. But the hardest part for me, Allie, was running alongside the bike, which should give you an indication of how out of shape I am. And here's some audio to prove to you how bad. This was just me chasing this was me chasing a 6-year-old on a bike. Pedal, 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 pedal. Keep going faster, faster. All right, good job. Great fall. That was a great ride.
Great fall?
Yeah, it ended with a fall.
That ride was like 10 seconds. Dude. That's not a great ride.
And how are you that exhausted after 10 seconds?
This had been after hours of chasing bikes, but the reality is, every time they wouldn't fall, I would go, I can't keep up anymore. You gotta please fall, because I was like, I'm gonna have a heart attack out here running around.
Good fall, good fall, faster.
And this is what I sound like in bed, if you're wondering. Pedal, 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 pedal. Keep going faster, faster. All right, good job. Great fall. That was a great ride. That's exactly
You sound like a dog having a dream.
So just understand that if you want to use birth control, it's not a terrible choice for some people.
KROQ listener, your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to infiltrate one of these KROQ shows. My Chemical Romance at Dodger Stadium, July 27th. The Offspring at the Kia Forum, August 29th.
Yeah?
Incubus at Into It Dome, October 4th. Let's go! Blink-182 at Acrisure Arena, October 5th. And Linkin Park at Into It Dome, September 13th.
That's you cut me open just to watch me bend. This is what you asked for. Here's the crowd.
To choose your mission, you must engage at precisely 0900, 1200, 1500, or 1800 hours. That's 9 noon, 3 and 6 for civilians. Be color 20 and your mission is greenlit. Operation Choose Your Mission is now underway. This message will self-destruct in 5 seconds. Courtesy of Live Nation and the world famous.
Lola Young, KROQ, what are you and Omar cackling about in here? I leave the room for 15 seconds to come back.
God.
You guys are having a good old time.
Mm-hmm. Well, this has actually been something that's been in the works for, I think, a week or two now, and it was worth the wait. Omar, do you want to do the honors? Because I heard this on an episode of a true crime show that I was watching, and I thought, this has some sound bites in it that I know Omar, the audio sniper, could do a lot with. And, man, you delivered.
Thank you. So Klein, Allie sent me a clip of is it a podcast or is it a TV show?
It's Dateline.
Oh, it's a Dateline.
Dateline NBC.
So there's this audio, and Klein is the guy who, in the show, is
He's a person of interest at first, yes.
At a murder, right, in a murder case. And the audio, I felt like I could insert our own Klein into it and create a scene.
Yeah, great.
And,
just play it. All right, blah,
I think
blah.
it came out pretty
That's
good.
fine. Just
Klein,
play it.
Before you
That's
get
fine.
upset, he didn't end up being the killer. He just ended up being a pervert.
That's right.
Great.
That's true.
But he had almost exactly your name.
Win for me. I feel great. Thank you. I remember when you played the clip of this at the beginning. His name was, what was it, Calvin
His
Klein?
name was Kegan.
Kegan Klein.
Kegan
Klein.
Klein.
Sounds cool.
All right, great. Get ready for world premiere now. This is just some of Omar and his audio sniping at its finest. And apparently, according to Allie's reaction, I saw, boy, it's good.
Who is Klein?
Klein is the person that solicits girls to send them pornographic photos.
Right. Oh, that is dirty.
Klein was a big, overweight,
I'm going to eat it all. Yummy, yummy, yummy.
not somebody that these girls would talk to kind of person, so he changed who he was.
I'm a handicap.
Not long after that Peeping Tom incident, law enforcement raided Klein's home.
Oh, I don't know.
He's a bad guy. He's a pathological liar. He would tell us something we'd look into and it'd be a lie. He lied a lot.
Hey, don't mind me. I'm just a young boy.
Klein seemed to have a strong alibi that he was in Vegas at the time of the murders.
Yeah.
When Court TV's Barbara McDonald learned Klein was in jail, she contacted him.
Man, I am horny now.
What happened?
He talked to me. He gave me an interview from jail. So, are you aware that there's a bunch of news stories out there linking you to the Delphi murders?
I don't have no
Okay.
thought.
You have admitted that you created this fake profile, Anthony Schatz. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Why did you create that profile?
I groomed a young boy.
But when it came to contact with Libby, Klein seemed evasive.
Are you aware whether you may have talked to Libby? Where were you on February 13th, 2017?
I like to smell parts of my girlfriend.
Did you have anything to do with the murders of Abby or Libby?
Me, such a bad boy.
And in the end, investigators couldn't prove he killed Abby and Libby.
We conducted a thorough investigation and ruled him out.
Another dead end.
Another dead end.
I'm boned up. I am boned up.
Klein would eventually plead guilty to 25 charges. He was sentenced to 40 years in prison.
Are you ready for the rear end? Okay, thank you. Great. What a wonderful tribute. Thank you, Omar.
You're welcome. That was everything I could have imagined and more.
Star of Dateline.
I love the question answer section.
Can people with my name stop committing terrible crimes and giving
25 crimes.
25 crimes?
40 years in prison.
It's good to know that if I ever do get accused of doing any crimes, I'm just going to mumble instead of answer. All right, well played. That'll be
I'm a young boy.
instant hit. Shout out Omar, the audio sniper. OMG, this is everything. Wow.
Hashtag Dateline NBC.
Praise pouring through all over the text line for the great Omar Khan. I'm going to go rethink my alibi. And also, Vegas does sound fun right about now.
Yeah.
K-Rock.
Klein Alley, Klein Alley Show.
KROQ, the world famous K-Rock. K-Rock, K-Rock.
Get your flowers pouring through on the text line. People saying, well done, audio sniper. That's why
Appreciate
he's the best. That's just a... that's
So
not
many people
me.
with suggestions of other sound clips to use, too, which is great. 831 Omar, at the end of the clip where he gets sentenced, you also should add his puppy noises.
We don't need any more. It's fine as it is.
Yeah.
He was sentenced to 40 years in prison.
Are you ready for the rear end? We don't need to add more sounds to it. It's fine.
714, oh my God, I fell off my chair. 949, I can't stop laughing. Kudos to Omar. Jake, take notes, Jake.
Let's not forget
early
about
nomination for Song of the Year.
Not a song. and let's not forget for a moment, before we give all this glory to Omar, who's the guy that said all the dumb things during the story over the many years. Me.
Yeah,
You're trying to now take credit for this?
That's right. I didn't realize the audience would like it so much.
But who is an idiot?
Right.
First, me. That's who. And who is a pervert? The other client.
Yeah, let's not get confused here. I know there's new listeners don't understand that was a lot of clever editing, and they think that that's a real story. Oh, Klein was on Shark Tank and on Dateline? Wow. I was not on Dateline. That was a different guy with a different name and a different spelling, I believe. And Omar just got real clever with his
no, it wasn't different
witchcraft.
spelling.
Well, whatever. He did some sort of weird audio witchcraft and made me look like a real deviant.
Oh, well,
and I am a deviant.
Klein was the focus, but you're the star.
Mm-hmm. No, we're not playing it again. People demanding
we are
an encore.
absolutely playing that again.
I think it's been deleted, the
310,
file.
I'm at my desk stealthily watching the live stream.
All
I'm
right.
so glad I got to hear that at work. 310 OMFG, I'm crying. Stop stop, guys. I got to drive straight. This isn't safe.
Well, it's not real, so just understand that I did very few of those things. I mean, that guy sounds like he was living a fun life. I'll be honest, a little jealous. Went to Vegas and whatever, but...
Well, having watched the actual episode, I can say that you are much more attractive than Keg and Klein.
Thank you. I'll take that as a win. Gray, June gloom, heat wave, summer. Pack your patience. We're officially in that time of the year right now. And also, as we were getting ready, you hear the blasting fan here in the KROQ studios. It's because we have our own little heat wave going on inside the building today. This is not the first time this has happened. You may be thinking, I've heard them bitch about this before. You think that usually the way it works, Allie, is things don't get fixed around here until we start bitching about them on the air. Then people around here start getting embarrassed. So they're like, we should probably solve that cockroach problem. They keep talking about it on the air.
Yeah, and I think they still have not solved that problem.
No,
but at least
worse.
they explained this problem.
Yes.
Which is that the building only air conditions the building from the hours of 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. And overnight, the company has to run their own AC to keep everything cool, and that broke down.
Right, that one's broken. And also, they told us we'd start feeling a lot more relief after 7 a.m., and it is now 9:25, and it has only gotten hotter.
It's funny, too, because out there, like by the newsroom, it's a much bigger open space, and there's not a bunch of equipment, so it's cooler over there. And to see everyone fanning themselves out there, I'm like, you have no idea what it's like in here.
Yeah, the hall where no one is frigid.
Yeah, that's one little hallway. That must be where all the air is going. Meanwhile, where people are trying to work, it is just ungodly, and it is hot and uncomfortable. But
Jim, save us.
Good opportunity for Jake to take his very popular segment, Pit Stop, and bring it into the building and smell other coworkers' armpits to see if anyone was prepared for this unnecessary heat that we're all dealing with. And let me just say, this is probably going to be, as we mentioned earlier, an HR violation.
Tell us your name and what you do at Odyssey.
My name's Shar, and I'm a producer, editor, writer for KNX News.
So like a real job that does real stuff, not like in here where we're smelling people's pits. I mean, she's out there when there's,
a hard job.
Right, a hard job. A real job looking for real scoops and bringing us the breaking news.
Yeah, she actually has to show up to work.
This AC, huh?
Oh.
Brutal.
It is brutal.
You staying cool?
No.
Have you reapplied any deodorant?
I have not.
Oh.
Sorry for you.
They're asking.
This all seems like very uncomfortable water cooler conversation.
It is, right.
So, pretty hot, huh?
Yeah.
Have you reapplied your deodorant?
Well, I'm just gonna ask right away to sniff pits. You gotta, buffer it.
Yeah, he's easing into it. He's doing a little foreplay.
They're asking me to go around the office and ask if I could do a pit check.
Why did you put that on us, by the way? Why?
Because it is on you.
This is when the bubble comes up that's like, Char is uncomfortable. That's something that Jake said.
Right. Should she,
What
A,
should she
walk away, B, tell her supervisor?
I'm uncomfortable.
But Jake, it's not as much fun. It's not funny when you say they're asking me to go out and smell your pits. It's funnier
You have
when
to
it's
say, I want to.
yeah, your thing. Like, hey, I'm the pit check guy. I do the pit stops.
Great. Well, I'll do that next time.
Because you're like passing the buck on to us. So
Yeah. Well, I should because it was your idea.
Right.
They're asking me to go around the office and ask if I could do a pit check.
You can, I guess.
Yeah?
I smell good, I promise.
Yeah, it's KROQ's Pit Stop.
That's hilarious.
Can I sniff your pits?
Yes, you can.
All right. Not bad.
Thank
Not
you.
bad.
Thank you.
This has been a KROQ Pit Stop.
Well, she's doing it too. She's got it on the noise making as well. That's funny. I like it when they do it as well. That sounds like when Allie's cat died. It's similar sound.
I'm not used to this. Did I do okay?
You did great.
Did I do okay? Yeah.
I'm not used to this. I'm only used to things that are interesting.
Jake, who had the worst pits so far? I know you smelled a lot of pits.
Allie's was the worst.
Hey, Allie, congratulations.
Yeah, I know. I think I need to go to Ralph's after the show.
Allie smelled herself and
You
made...
smell like a Ralph.
Shut up!
Allie.
I didn't realize this was going to be an issue today.
Allie...
And you can smell like the deodorant trying to hold it back, but the odor just like cut it.
Thanks for that detailed description. I don't have deodorant on. I forgot.
You know,
And you get long pit hair.
The funny thing is we got a text yesterday from Nicole Alvarez that went to the whole on-air staff that said, hey, guys, reminder, the new CEO of the company is coming by for a meeting tomorrow. Let's all put our best foot forward and not look like...
I tried.
And Allie is all dressed up now, but she's got a sleeveless sack on. And
She looks like Bill Belichick.
Excuse me. What are you talking about?
You gotta go to the YouTube and see this.
I don't look... What do you mean?
Hey, that's a rally sweatshirt.
It's not a rally sweatshirt.
That is why Bill Belichick for Allie. Go Google the picture right now.
All right, well, yeah, he has a hot girlfriend.
For like 10 seasons, he wore the same sweatshirt. It looked just like
all right.
thing Omar's ever said.
I bet the new CEO is going to love it.
All right. I can't believe we got Bill Belichick to come to this meeting. That's amazing. All right. Well, anyway, there you have it. What an exciting day here at KROQ.
Your blades are sharpened with precision.
Klein Alley Show comes to an end for now. Listener Gus, is that from Gus, Vanessa? Listener Gus showed up today during the show. I don't think we could have handled it today because of the heat in here, but he did bring us the Hot Ones 10 hot sauce pack and a bunch of chicken from Roscoe's.
Wow. That's a heavy thing to think about right now.
Heavy meal, considering it's close to 100 degrees in the KROQ studio, but I think we should put that on the schedule for tomorrow. So we'll be doing our very own...
God, I really hope that the air conditioning is fixed by then.
Hot Ones Challenge tomorrow on the show live. If you have questions for us, we'll let you ask us the questions while we devour the hot sauce. And thank you, listener Gus, for bringing all that stuff by today. Greatly appreciate all the things you guys do to contribute to the show. All right, let's do some takeaways and get the hell out of here. Breathe.
Okay. 818, my takeaway is Allie is the next Rhonda.
Not
Similarly,
current Rhonda.
626, my takeaway is Klein is a manipulative butt boy.
According
we both
to
got
this
new labels
unofficial
on the show
prison poll we did, I'm a manipulative butt boy. Don't pull that clip.
Oh, damn. 818, my takeaway is catio is a euphemism for vagina.
Yep, we did learn that today on the show as well.
562, Bill Belichick works at KROQ.
He sure does. By the way, it is the ultimate honor of my entire career in broadcasting that I get to share a studio with the great Bill Belichick.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You are a legend, sir.
I can't believe what people say about my personality.
Did we put up a side-by-side yet on Instagram of Allie's outfit today? Her putting her best foot forward next to the Bill Belichick picture? We must. It's so great.
626, my takeaway is Allie would like to speak with the manager of this prison. And 562, my takeaway is Klein Alley Show, running on nothing.
Yeah, well said. If you missed any part of the show today, if you're not, there's a podcast. Download wherever you get your podcasts. It means a lot to us if you subscribe, leave some comments, good, bad, or otherwise. You can also check out what the show looks like visually. It's visually stunning. And we're up on YouTube right now. If you don't believe us, check us out there. What's your takeaway from today's show, Jake the Nerd?
That we're your radio migraine meal.
Yeah, radio migraine meal. It's where it's at. Omar, got a takeaway?
My takeaway is that I think Vanessa's losing it.
That's the sound of her losing it, all right.
It's the sound of my new cat.
Coach, you got a takeaway?
Oh, yeah, sorry, that was me. Look, I don't want to say the show's over, but the show is over.
The show is over. The show is over. Have a great day.
And pack your patience.
Do it tomorrow. We'll do it better. And if you need us in the meantime, Goatline's open for you now, 844-956-GOAT. Stick around. 40 minutes nonstop KROQ and more of those Choose Your Mission tickets with Nicole Alvarez next.